Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the number one Oregon Ducks versus the Michigan Wolverines. Kickoff is going to be here in roughly 5 to 6 minutes. We got WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia on at the same damn time. And I just saw Ohio State beat Penn State, and that's exactly what we needed in the conference. So that way we don't have any type of controversy with Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State, and Penn State. So everything has been pretty wild this morning. I'm ready to go. And again, got a nice little triple threat here in Saudi Arabia on Crown Jewel as we speak, and we're going to get going here in just a couple minutes. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Number one Oregon Ducks versus the Michigan Wolverines. Let's get it, baby. I'm ready. 5-3, 3-2 in the conference for the Wolverines. 8-0, 5-0 in the conference for the Oregon Ducks. Let's go, baby. Tell him, Dan. I got to go grab the chain and go grab the gloves. Give me 1 sec. All right, baby, here we go. Your boy is ready. Chain is on. Gloves are on. We got WWE Crown Jewel on also at the same damn time. And I apologize for all the wrestling fans on the channel. Sometimes when we have two events overlap, I have to end up just choosing one. But I was up very, very early this morning with a very early walk with Paisley Pup. I ended up watching the entire Ohio State-Penn State matchup at 9 a.m. Ohio State with the victory. Congratulations to them and the Buckeyes. And obviously this WWE PLE event started off with the old bloodline and the new bloodline with Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jay. And obviously the new bloodline was Solo Sikoa and company. And that started off at 10 a.m. So I've been up early, watching Ohio State, Penn State at 9 a.m. WWE Crown Jewel is still going on right now on one of my screens here in the studio. And obviously they're kind of getting close to that event wrapping up. And now we have Oregon and Michigan going at it here very, very shortly as they're just showing a few highlights of Northwestern and Purdue as we speak. Live. Let's go, baby. We live, baby. Let's get it. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Matt in the building, what's good? Sean in the building, what's good? Let's get it. And again, there's always going to be an opportunity for a team that's number one, regardless if it's Oregon, if it's Georgia, if it's Bama, Ohio State, Texas, that if you end up playing bad within the first half, sometimes it's hard to catch up in the second half, even if you're really good at adjustments. So I feel that, we respect the big house. We respect, Michigan, but also you have to understand that this Oregon team is built a little bit different than a lot of the other teams. Really, the one matchup that really is the most concerning for us was Ohio State, deservedly so. That might be the only loss that Ohio State suffers all year until we go to the playoff. And again, they got it done today against a team that's very good in Penn State on the road. I had Ohio State winning. They did. And obviously that keeps the conference in play, where you end up having Oregon and Ohio State as the two best teams at the top of the conference with Indiana and Penn State. But we just feel that Indiana and Penn State overall, they're good teams, but they're not on the same caliber as Ohio State or Oregon. And I think that's a fair statement to say. And again, we're going to see how many teams that we're going to get in the playoff from the Big Ten. But hopefully we end up getting a decent matchup tonight, even though Oregon is favored by 14.5. And realistically, getting past Ohio State, I don't really think Oregon is going to lose. And once we get to the college football playoff, then there's going to be an opportunity for Oregon to lose. But, as well as the Big Ten championship game, if we end up having Oregon and Ohio State go at it again, obviously there'll be an opportunity to lose that as well. But until we get to the Big Ten championship game or the college football playoff, I'm thinking that this ranking will stay with Oregon, and hopefully we play very, very well. I want it to be an entertaining game, but if we ended up going into the big house and blowing them out, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, baby. Let's get it. And it's just kind of unfortunate that we have so many events crossing over, because, hell, if I knew that we could get a good enough audience for a game like with Gus and Joel on Fox at 9 a.m., like Ohio State, Penn State. And I know some people, don't really care, but for me, Gus and Joel are the best in football. Regardless if it's NFL or college football announcing, they are fantastic. And I really feel with those type of matchups, they're almost like mini bowl games that you get during the regular season, top 5 versus top 5. And again, definitely excited to be able to watch that game. And I'm not really surprised with the ending. Ohio State, they have some good players at wide receiver. We probably assume Will might be a little overrated at quarterback. Ended up having a couple touchdowns get reversed for Penn State in that game. But again, you got to make sure that you get it done at home, especially when you go against a team as good as the Buckeyes. You can't have mistakes. And they even ended up getting a pick 6 on him, early on, but that wasn't enough to get it done. Yeah, nice try. You ain't going to pluck the Ducks today, though. So, you can pluck the Ducks and go blue all you want, but and I know that there's no way in hell Michigan is beating Oregon today. So hopefully you guys can keep it within a couple points to make it somewhat, close, but and it wouldn't surprise me if Michigan plays pretty strong in the first half. But, if it ends up not being a blowout in the first half, it definitely will be a blowout in the second half. So, yeah, and especially if you don't have your star secondary member out there, you weren't going to win to begin with, but you ain't winning now. Let's go, baby. Captain in the building, what's good? And the WWE PLE here for Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, it's been kind of hit or miss. Some of the matches were kind of entertaining. Some of the matches were kind of meh, and that kind of is what you're going to typically get, out of a pay-per-view that isn't one of the major ones, right? When you end up having, one of those filler PLEs, premium live events, since they don't call them pay-per-views anymore. Again, you're not going to get every match that's going to be a 9 or a 10, but you hope that all of them are going to be at least an 8 or better. And again, I feel that most of the matches have been pretty entertaining. And again, I had to make a choice, between either doing the WWE PLE event, Crown Jewel, because I know we would probably be able to make more on the donos on that particular stream. But again, the stream that's going to be more entertaining, I feel, and worthwhile is this one. So I think this one would probably get more views. I don't know if we're going to get a similar amount in donos in this stream than we would, when we do a PLE WWE, because typically we hit goal when we end up doing that. But I know Captain Oreo is going to try to get us to goal, as well as a few others. So I appreciate you. $5 holla, stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Congratulations on your new mod status as well. $5 holla, 95 to go. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. I love the positivity and the optimism from Michigan fans thinking that they're actually going to win this game. Or they think that, oh, Oregon's from the Pac-12, they're soft. Again, I don't understand why they're getting so much hype. Well, if you haven't watched Oregon play throughout the year and you're only watching Michigan, that would be very clear. But again, Oregon, with the roster that we've built the last couple of years, you have to remember we got a lot of guys that are from the Midwest and from the South. So it's like we're trying to build like kind of a baby Georgia defense over here in the Pac-12 now in the Big Ten with Oregon on the West Coast. So if you think that this team is just going to roll over and die, you'll have something obviously to look at the final scoreboard when you see Michigan with not as many points as Oregon at the end of the day. And I don't think Michigan is a bad team. You just ended up losing, Harbaugh. And if you lose the heart and soul of your team, you're not going to recruit the same way. And the same thing would happen to Oregon if we lost Dan Lanning. Like, let's say Kirby Smart, ends up getting let go. Who do you think they're going to try to pluck, out of anyone in college football? Dan Lanning. And more than likely, Dan Lanning is going to get Coach of the Year, for Oregon. And I'm not saying that we're good enough to win it all. Now, I hope that we end up playing Georgia or Ohio State in the Natty, so that way we can get a little bit of revenge and prove to everyone that, we can win big games on a big game stage. We beat Ohio State, at Autzen, and that's a great regular season win. But we got bigger dreams, than just, beating Ohio State in the regular season or beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. We're trying to get a Natty. And again, before I die, I want to make sure I see at least one. And I've been watching this team since the 80s. And I used to watch when the Ducks would win 1 game a year, 2 games a year. So we've definitely come a long ways from Rich Brooks, to Mike Bellotti. And then obviously Chip Kelly had a few scragglers in there after that, like Helfrich, right? Willie Taggart, and a few of these others. And then we ended up having Mario Cristobal. We kind of liked him. Congratulations on the success at the U that you've had, and with Cam Ward and Damian Martinez from the Cougs and the Beavers, plucking those best players from the Pac-12 and adding them to your team. But now Dan Lanning, puts us in the best position since probably Chip Kelly, where, Rose Bowl, Natty, Rose Bowl, Fiesta, we actually have a chance to match that type of production, let alone we have a college football playoff now. And it feels like, if there was a chance for us to win a Natty, if Dan Lanning stays in the next 5 to 10 years, we should be able to go to a couple. I'm not saying that we would win every single one, because we wouldn't. If we played Georgia this year or Ohio State, there would be an opportunity to lose, or anyone that got to that championship game. We know this, but again, it just feels with recruiting and the way that we're building the program, you look good, you feel good, you play good. We got the unis, we got the helmets. For every high school player or transfer, they would love to be able to have that type of uniform combinations week in and week out. Anyone that tells you otherwise is lying. And again, it's the attention to detail. These aren't Fanatics jerseys. These are straight up Nike through Eugene, and obviously through everyone in Uncle Phil's back pocket will take it. So again, Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, your boy O. Let's go, baby. Oregon and Michigan, I am ready. Let's get it. Let's go, baby. And again, I've always enjoyed Michigan and watching them go against Ohio State. But again, now if Harbaugh was still there, then this would definitely be more of a must-see TV kind of game for the whole entire country. It would be pinned just like Ohio State, Oregon was, except obviously Michigan wouldn't be 5-3 right now. Michigan would probably be 8-0 right now if they still had Harbaugh. So again, they had J.J. McCarthy and a few others that ended up going into the draft. But the bottom line is there's no loyalty anymore in college football for coaches or for players. And if you end up not recruiting well from your hometown state, it doesn't matter anymore. You might be able to get a transfer from a random school like Illinois or Mississippi State or West Virginia, wherever, and that might end up being your new starting quarterback if you don't recruit well in your own hometown state or the surrounding states. So I'm really excited about this particular matchup. I know we have a chance to lose. I'll give Michigan their kudos. 5-3 record, even though we normally are used to Michigan, being 8-0 or 7-1 at this point. But again, there's a new big boy that is in the conference named the Oregon Ducks. And, for all those times, that you had Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, maybe USC, Washington, and UCLA have a few years to catch up. but there's definitely one team that's joining the party at the top of the division, and that's the Oregon Ducks. With Ohio State, Indiana, I see you. Hoosiers have been good this year as well as Penn State, but there's definitely a cream of the crop. There's the middle and then the bottom end of the Big Ten. Let's go, baby. Time to lock and load, baby. Let's go. And let me know what you want to do for a Husky photo. If you got a particular Husky photo that you want, like a Jonah Coleman or something, let me know and I got you. Let's go. I mean, almost, in a matchup like Michigan in the Big House, you almost kind of wish that Michigan was undefeated at this point or had kind of a record like Penn State going into this game. So that way we have another bowl game to get excited about during the regular season like we had with Ohio State and Oregon. Let's go, baby. I mean, we're thinking about, trying to just win every game that's in front of us, right? We want to just go one win at a time. And then obviously if we get to the Big Ten championship and we play Ohio State again, if that's what happens, obviously trying to get the dub there. And then, going to the college football playoff and trying to go as far as possible. And again, at the end of the day, I would love to play Georgia or Ohio State for the championship if I had my choice. I think that would be must-see TV, and again, we'll have to wait and see if that ends up actually being an option as we go to the college football playoff. We got WWE Crown Jewel still going on. One of my other screens here in the studio. Let's go, baby. Offense, defense, special teams. Let's bring it. And I got the Natty LaMichael James sewn from 2010 on today, fitting with the white and the gray silver theme. Let's go, baby. Here we go. Hit him. Ooh, good return by Michigan. There we go. Nice return by the Michigan Wolverines there. Davis Warren, not very good. 3 passing TDs, 6 picks. That's not really ideal of a quarterback play, when you think of the Michigan Wolverines. First down and 10. Little toss. Where you going? Where you going? Harmon, baby. And again, anyone that thinks that this is like, just some, Pac-10, Pac-12 team that's overrated, again, this is the closest thing that we have to Ohio State, Michigan type of standards of defense, or like an SEC team like Georgia or Bama. Normally, our defense is not good. Normally, we're like a top 50 or a top 100 defense, but the defense is actually the strongest part of this team. It's much better than the offense this year. And even if we have a top 10 offense, we got a top 3 defense in the country with Texas and with Georgia. So I like what we're doing so far. Hit him. There we go. Odin in the building. What's good? We got Gunther walking down into the ring here as well, since I still got the Saudi Arabia Crown Jewel PPE, PLE, PPV still on as well. Pass incomplete. Boys got to eat some breakfast. Little French toast. Michigan with the punt. Go, baby, go. First down, Ducks. Paisley wants some as well. Cody Rhodes. Almost done. Let him know, Captain. Let him know. All right, French toast, obliterated. All right, we got an injury. I'll be right back. 1 second. All right. All right, got to get the fan and everything else going in here. We got Cody Rhodes getting introduced there at Crown Jewel. First down and 10. Gabriel, play action fake. Little bootleg. Check down the sideline. There we go. Get that first down, baby. Nice job, Tez. First down, Oregon. Move the chains. Go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. We're at 5:95 to go. Second down and 4. And even though our offense isn't as good as our defense, you know, like in traditional years with like Marcus Mariota, you know, going with D'Anthony Thomas, LaMichael James, Kenyon Barner, you know, and guys like that, or Darren Thomas, you know, in these different eras, the Ducks offense has been getting better and better and better week in and week out since those first couple weeks when we had injuries on the O-line and the offensive coordinator was a little bit too safe and vanilla. But now guys are getting healthy, and every single game after that Boise State game, there's been a drastic improvement. You know, Michigan State was great. Oregon State was great. Ohio State was a dream come true. And now we're just trying to be able to, you know, kind of beat up on the rest of the schedule that we have left here in the Big Ten. Let's go, baby. And if you got Peacock Network as well, you can always turn on Crown Jewel and watch it with us also. Jordan James right up the gut. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. All right, Cody Rhodes and Gunther. Crowd is excited for it. Let's go, Ducks. Yeah, no Will Johnson is huge. First down and 10. Gabriel. Pressure coming. Screen pass. Short game. Did he fall on the shoulder a little bit? Guy landed on him pretty hard there. Can't lose Tez. I mean, you know, Evan Stewart has been great, you know, and we have other individuals that can step up, but we can't afford, you know, to have our number one go down. Second down and 8. Jordan James, short gain of 3. And now Noah Whittington with a short gain. Little Jordan James, little Noah Whittington, little Taz, little Evan Stewart. You never know where it's going to go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Ducks. Cody Rhodes and Gunther wrapping up. Floater. First down, Oregon. Move the chains. And also, you know, it's not like we're playing the history of Michigan, you know, and everything that they've done over the last 100 years or even last year winning the Natty. They don't got Harbaugh. They don't got J.J. McCarthy. This team is nothing like it was last year. Jordan James with the short game. Let's go, baby. We have expectations of winning and winning big. And it's not going to be like this for Oregon every single year. We understand that. But we also want to make sure we're taking advantage of the opportunities when we are this good to see if we can actually, you know, finish the deal and get a natty at the end of it. Second down and 7. Shotgun set. Gabriel. Little screen pass. Nice tunnel screen. First down, Oregon. Move the chains. Nice job by Sadiq. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Uh-oh, Tez is going to the locker room. Fuck! That's not good. We could still win this game without Tez, but fucking A. That definitely makes it more interesting. Shotgun set. Gabriel, pump fake. And we might need Gabriel to run the football a little bit more, you know, if Tez is going to be out, unless we can get some of those other receivers to step up. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. Come on now. 3 more to get to 10. Let's get there, baby. 13 more to get to 20. Second and goal, shotgun set, trips left, direct snap. And good defense there by Michigan to bring us down. Whittington run for 3 to the Michigan 2. Prayers up for Tez. Hopefully it's not anything major. Maybe they'll just wrap up his shoulder or give him a shot. Hopefully it's not like a separated shoulder or anything like that, because if that's the case, then he'll be out for the game and might end up missing some time, but hopefully it's just like a stinger. Or if the shoulder popped out, maybe they can pop it back in. 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel to Evan Stewart. 2 yards. Let's go, Ducks. Hell yeah. Nice back shoulder. And if we need somebody to step up, for Tez, Evan is the guy. Nice job. Let's go. Reflecting the building. What's good? (7-0) Ducks. We got Gunther and Cody Rhodes on Peacock on WWE Crown Jewel 2024 on right now, and I believe this is the main event. So once that ends, then my full attention will be on Oregon, Michigan, and obviously got a chance to watch Ohio State beat Penn State earlier this morning as well. Penn State gave everything they had, but just fell a little short. Extra point is up and good. Reflecting the building. What's good? Look at that. Look at that throw and that catch. I mean, you literally couldn't have put that football anywhere else. And we're talking about being blanketed with a coverage. I mean, Michigan could have definitely intercepted that, batted that away. I mean, if we're talking on a skill throw on a 1 to 100, that was 100. Like, literally, there's not many QBs, that are in college football today that could have made that throw and got that catch to go down. Nice job, Ducks. 7-0 Oregon. Yeah, could have been PI too. No call. Still got that ball, to thread that needle in there. And we know Dylan Gabriel isn't really known for threading the needle like Bo Nix or Marcus Mariota or some of the other quarterbacks that we've had in the past, or even like a Joey Harrington. But that was a hell of a throw and a hell of a catch by Gabriel to Evan Stewart. Now we just got to prayers up right now for Tez Johnson, and hopefully that he is okay. But definitely there will be an opportunity for Oregon to win this game by more than 10. I think the biggest point spread was like 14 and a half. And, now if Michigan was undefeated, or they still had Harbaugh, then, they would probably be 8-0 right now like us, or 7-1. And this would be must-see TV like obviously Ohio State, Oregon was. But even with that being said, for them to be 5-3, that's kind of what you thought they might be able to be. After losing some people to the transfer portal, maybe some people deciding to, go to another team since Harbaugh left, because that was kind of the main reason people came to Michigan was for Harbaugh. But again, hopefully they end up making this game competitive, and we'll see what our defense can do. And for every Michigan fan or Big Ten fan, that thinks Oregon is soft or they can't compete with the Big Ten or SEC teams, they haven't watched Oregon football this year. We got guys that are going to be from the islands. We got guys that are from the Midwest. We got guys that are from the South. Dan Lanning is going to try to build this squad, like a baby Georgia Bulldog team on defense. So if we can build a Bulldog team on defense, which we already have, right now, us, Georgia, and Texas have probably the most notable defenses and whatnot. I'm not saying that these other defenses that are out there like Ohio State aren't good. They're definitely very, very skilled. But this is the first time that Oregon's defense has been this much better than their offense. If we got a top 10 offense, it's closer probably to the bottom of the 10, even though I know that the numbers are higher that indicate that. So having a top 5 offense, top 5 defense, I don't know if I ever thought that we would see something like that. And even though the top, 10 offense sometimes doesn't feel like a top 10 offense, it feels like maybe a top 15 or top 20. But every once in a while, when we get in our bag and we get in our groove, they match the effort of the defense, and then we end up having something special, top 3 and top 3, and then that ends up leading to be the number 1 team in the country, at least now for the last couple weeks. Oregon with the kickoff, little kneel down in the end zone, 7-0 Oregon. Let's go, baby. Gunther with a big elbow to Cody Rhodes' head here in the corner at WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Reflect in the building, Megan in the building, Matt in the building, Captain in the building. What's good? First down and 10. Little jet sweep. Oregon sniffed that out. Where are you going? Where are you going? Not today. Now, if this was Oregon's defense in the past, that probably would have been a 20-yard gain. But we got too many fast players, and again, this defense has been coached up to the fullest. Wouldn't surprise me one bit if Dan Lanning ends up getting Coach of the Year. Birch, Harmon, Caldwell, Igolele, Betcha, Basa. We just got studs all the way around. Jabbar Muhammad, Savage, Johnson, and Reed. I haven't seen a defense like this in Oregon history ever. Second down and 12. High snap. Warren down the sideline. Don't hit him late. There you go. Good decision on having discipline there, not hitting the player late. Decent game there. Warren with a 6-yard gain to the Michigan 29. Second down and 12 on the Michigan 23. Let's go Ducks. Congratulations to the Buckeyes for beating the Nittany Lions earlier this morning. And we assume at some point Indiana will lose. And I know they got, I believe they have Ohio State coming up here in a week or two. Maybe it's next week or the week after. So I think everything will kind of play itself out in the Big Ten. Warren? Uh-oh. 12 noon, you know what time it is. Time for an Oregon Duck sack lunch, or is that a Georgia Bulldog sack lunch? Yum, 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 yum. There we go. Look at that defensive awareness there to swat that ball out. But anytime you have a quarterback that was third string, then first string, and then, kind of going back and forth between third string, first string, and third string, this ain't no J.J. McCarthy out there, and it shows. 4th down and 12, Michigan punts. Oh, my God, and he fumbled. Jesus Christ. Good play by Michigan right there, and that's what happens when you don't have your regular Tez Johnson returning kicks. You end up getting an inexperienced player that ends up fumbling the bag, and big hit, big recovery. This should lead to at least a field goal for Michigan, maybe even a touchdown. Come on! And you can't spin yourself around like that. You got to be smarter than that. And again, inexperience on playing a position that he never plays. You never do a spin move like that when guys are coming at you 20 miles an hour, especially if you get hit in the back when you do your spin move. That was one of the dumbest things I think I've seen out of the Oregon Ducks this season. But he is a backup. He's not the regular. If it was, that wouldn't have happened. But again, that's football. He'll learn. He'll pout about it on the sideline. They'll try to console him, and then hopefully he can make up for it later in the game. Or he'll just be on the bench for the rest of the game. Little end around. Oregon sniffed that out, baby. Where are you going? Nowhere. Fuck yeah! All the F words. You probably have more F words come out for him, though, Denver Broncos. But we expect a lot. And we've been building. Nice superplex by Cody Rhodes to Gunther off the top rope. Second down and 10. Hand off right up the guts. Wow. First down, Michigan. Great run by Edwards. One of the best offensive plays we've seen up to this point by Michigan. And definitely we feel a little stunned right now. Got punched in the mouth. And again, you don't turn the football over, off a fumbled punt, and just getting smacked and dropping the ball. This is probably inevitable. Michigan will get a touchdown here in a play or two. Doesn't really feel like a field goal. Looks like a touchdown. Orgy for a run for 4 yards. Shotgun set. Orgy, where you going, Bubba? Nowhere. Good defense there by the Ducks. Flag is down. Illegal shift. First and goal. I mean, they were going to score a touchdown on this drive anyways. Once you turn over the ball off a muffed punt and you're this close, momentum, even if you have a top 3 defense in the country, they're going to feel like, we got a very good opportunity if the defense is a little bit on their heels, even if you got a top 3 ranked D. They're going to get 3 more than likely. Hopefully not a touchdown, but anytime Oregon and Michigan play, I remember watching them in 2003, and a lot of weird things happened in the game. With like a blocked field goal, return back for a touchdown. So you never really know what might happen in this game here today. And you might get some unusual plays that you normally don't see typically in the regular season that might end up happening in this matchup. It always ends up being very interesting, and you get some trick plays and some special plays that happen when Michigan and Oregon play, even though we've only played like a few times in the last 25 years. Down the sideline, short game. They're definitely playing it very safe here. Third and goal. Touchdown, Wolverines. I told y'all. It's like I said, it's one of those things where, you gain momentum, and no matter how good your defense is, usually that home crowd and that aura and that vibe, you put them in too good a position there based off the turnover and got their hopes all excited. And the turnover ends up leaning into 6. Extra point is up and good. Let's see if he gets it. And that is a touchdown. Nice job by Morris. That's all right. You turn the ball over. I mean, we would expect the same thing to happen if we punted to Michigan and we hit them and they fumbled and we got the ball on the 20. We would have scored a touchdown also. So, you got to give them credit for making a big play, and, having Tez Johnson injured definitely hurt us, and you can't have that same player back there again. He's still over there sulking on the sideline. You fucked up once. Hopefully they have a backup option and not have that guy back out there again. Because if you're going to fumble once, chances are you'll fumble again. And your confidence is already shaken. So I don't want that same returner back out there again. We're tied up 7-7. And I figured it would be pretty competitive in the first half. And then once it goes to the second half, then we'll be able to open the game up. But again, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot, or we have to try not to shoot ourselves in the foot as much as possible. A nice throw by Warren to Morris. Touchdown, Wolverines. We're knotted up at 7, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us try to get to 20 within the first hour and a half. 30 to 50 overall. We need 9 more to get to 20. So if you are in the room and haven't done it, please do. Now we're at 12, 8 more. Appreciate you. And we're at 5 on the dono train, 95 to go to hit the goal. And hopefully we can end up getting pretty close to the goal, because I know if I would have done the WWE pay-per-view, typically when we do those once a month, we do hit goals. So, but again, sometimes you have to, take a chance and then just hope that you get the proper support, with views and subs and likes and possible dono opportunities. But the WWE pay-per-view was on at 10 a.m., which isn't necessarily too early for me, but kind of sucks when you have really cool things that you want to be able to stream, but they overlap each other. So apologize for all the WWE fans, but we will be able to try to get a WWE pay-per-view in next month as far as the stream is concerned. Yeah, probably the fair catch would have been a smarter deal, but anytime you end up having a guy that is a backup back there, if he would have fair caught it, maybe he would have fumbled it anyways. It seems like he was a little jittery, for this big moment that he normally isn't in the game at that moment. So, and you got to think, being a punt returner, kick returner, that's got to be one of the most stressful jobs besides field goal kicker, because there's so much pressure that if you fuck up once, then you're done, and everyone's on your head. And sometimes if you're a kicker and you miss a couple or get some blocked, you have a chance for redemption at the end of the game. But if you're a kickoff returner or punt returner, really the only way that you can end up, kind of making up for your mistake is if you end up running one back for a touchdown, and I'm not sure if that will happen or if that same player will be in, but, I've seen weirder things happen, but yeah, maybe should have attempted the fair catch, but now we got Gunther and Cody slapping the shit out of each other. Main event here in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. We got Georgia and Florida knotted up at 0. Texas Tech up on Iowa State 10-3. Indiana down to Michigan State 10-0. And Miami came back and beat Duke 53-31, but that one looked like it could have been an upset alert earlier on. All right, come on, Oregon. Now we got to be able to bounce back here. Childs DeMarsh on the Hoosiers, trying to give them their first loss of the season. End of the first quarter, 10-0. Spartans. That's shocking. But, it happens. Let's go, baby. 8 more likes to get to 20. Appreciate you, Captain. Shotgun set. Handoff. And we're definitely getting a little conservative here. And we got to make sure that we're trying to win this game, and not just try to hang around. You hang around a team like Michigan, you'll lose. So you got to make sure we're putting our foot on the gas. Let's go, Ducks. 2nd down and 7 on the Oregon 28. Shotgun set, 5 wide. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Nice job, Cody Rhodes. Gabriel. Yeah, wanted to go into the flat, but was covered there. Late hit. That was a stupid play there by Michigan. Reflect, when you ended up playing Michigan, were you at home or were you on the road? Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Don't be trying to injure our quarterback. Just because your quarterback is shitty doesn't mean you can injure ours. Come on now. You were at home, okay? Because I was going to say, playing, even if Michigan isn't as good as they normally are, playing on the road in a place like that, you could lose. For anybody. And I think anyone knows that. Anybody could lose at Penn State, at Michigan, at Ohio State. Now, obviously, if their team is legit and they're a top, 5, top 10, top 25 team, compared to unranked 5-3 Michigan, right? It's a different kind of vibe, but. Shotgun set. Gabriel pressured on the outside and just throws it out of bounds. Smart play. Oh, yeah. If you lose to an unranked team, it'll definitely push them down further. Absolutely. If you end up playing a top-ranked team and you lose, then, there'll be movement, but not maybe as much. But if you end up losing, Michigan not only would jump into the top 25, they could probably get as high as maybe 20, right off the rankings, right out of the gates, right? 18, 19, 20 if they beat Oregon. And then Oregon definitely would go down a few notches since Michigan isn't ranked. Second down and 10. Little draw play, bouncing it to the outside. There we go, run him over. First down, Ducks. And that's the end of the first quarter. 7-7, Oregon and Michigan. Good first quarter. Again, a little bit of surprise. Injury by Tez Johnson. And then his replacement fumbled. And then ended up, getting Michigan a tutty a few plays later. So it's not really like, Michigan has beat us. We've kind of beaten ourselves. And hopefully we can clean up some of those mistakes, and hopefully we get an injury report on Tez and his shoulder isn't separated or whatever, clavicle broken, a shoulder separation, a stinger. Hopefully we see him back today. And for whatever reason, if he's out for the rest of the game, hopefully he'll be able to play the rest of the season. Because if you don't have Tez Johnson, the chances of us being able to not only get to the Natty but win the Natty goes down tremendously. Like, we could still get there possibly, but again, that would mean a lot of other individuals would have to step up into a whole nother role. And Evan Stewart is good enough to step into that role, but then who's going to step up into the Evan Stewart role? If we have to go next man up kind of approach. So, but we'll see how it goes. Gunther with a big power bomb in the replay here against Cody. And I would say right now with WWE Crown Jewel, this one underwhelmed a little bit. I think most of the, PLEs, regardless if it's in America or overseas, but if it's like a filler pay-per-view, they normally end up being, an 8, 8.5. This one probably was a 7.5. It was slightly lower than maybe what we normally expected, 7.5. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but it definitely was a little bit lower than maybe the last couple pay-per-views we've seen. Indiana finally scored. Go over some of the scores. Number 2, Georgia, 0. Florida, 0. Texas Tech, 10. Number 11, Iowa State, 3. Number 13, Indiana, 7. Michigan State, 10. Kansas State and Houston is delayed. Ohio State, 4, 20. And they beat number 3, Penn State, 13. So Ohio State, 2013 victors over the Nittany Lions on the road. Great win for them. Miami, 53. Duke, 31. Staying strong in the top 5. Ole Miss 63, Arkansas 31. Army finding a way to win again, 20-3 over Air Force. Illinois, after their loss to Oregon, they lose again to unranked Minnesota. Illinois will be out of the top 25. And then we got A&M and South Carolina later, Louisville and Clemson, Kentucky, Tennessee, Pitt and SMU as far as the best matchup ranked late at night. And then later on, we also are going to have Wisconsin and Iowa and USC, Washington, both knotted up at 4-4. I'll be watching that for sure. Complete set of Call of Duty. Nice. Heck yeah. And always make sure that, you're looking out, for friends and family. We have one of our regulars that I mentioned to you guys, a few days back that recently lost her mom, his mom. And I know it's definitely been, something that has been on his brain, and the family is kind of having a rough time. And I reached out to him and bought him dinner last night. And I don't really have a whole lot of money to, spend extra, besides paying my bills and whatnot. But sometimes, you just got to, think of like, okay, maybe some of the friends and the family. Berg down to the 1. And then Whittington, touchdown, Oregon. There we go. But sometimes, if you go out of your way, and think, okay, yeah, I do need this money, to be able to buy, something for Paisley or Bills. And nice touchdown there by Oregon on the goal line. But it made me feel good, knowing that someone that is in a very tough spot, and even if it's something that, he can buy, pizza for him and his boys, or, just get a good meal by himself and just like being able to listen to music and, just being able to kind of, reset for a moment and not have to worry about what I'm going to be eating for dinner and whatnot. It made me feel good. And, make sure that you are, keeping up with friends and family. You never know. A small gesture like buying someone's dinner for $30-$40 could really go a long ways for that person's mental health. So 13-7 Oregon. Nice job, Ducks. No, and I didn't want to send like $5 or $10, like, go to McDonald's or something. I figured, if it was something like that happened to me, and someone ended up, sending me like, $35-$40, then it's like you have options. You can go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings. You could end up grabbing a couple pizzas and have your friends come over. You could end up getting a pizza and wings or breadsticks. Like you could end up making it like kind of something bigger than maybe it normally would have been just with a regular, burger and nuggets or fries or whatever. So, and sometimes, I think people need those little pick-me-ups and whatnot. And it was one of those things that I thought about it, and then I looked at my bank account, and I was like, man, I just don't really have enough to do this. But I thought, karma is good, and if you end up doing something nice, things usually will come back to you. So I figured, even though money might be a little bit tight, again, someone that ended up just losing their mom is not ideal, especially at his very young age. So I felt that would be a good thing for him and his family and his friends, and hopefully he ended up having a great meal. And we'll probably end up seeing him in the room, in the next, I would say, week or so, probably. But I know things have been pretty tough for him in the last 4 or 5 days. Review is confirmed. Call stands. Touchdown, Oregon. And plus, I like being able to do, things for others. Just like on Christmas, when you're a kid, you love to be selfish and get everything. But as you get older, you get more joy of being able to see someone else smile, And again, once you get a little bit older, certain like possessions, and materialistic items are still cool, but they aren't as much of a need when you get older, and obviously for some of the people that are in the younger generation, some of those materialistic items end up being a little bit more wanted and needed. So even though I wasn't able to take care of maybe one thing, it definitely made me feel good, trying to repair a little bit of a heart that is a little bit damaged at the moment. So nice pass there by Dylan Gabriel to Ferg. And Ferg has been a little bit banged up. And then Noah Whittington right up the gut. 14-7, Oregon. And I don't share the stories to make you feel, some type of way for me. I just, to try to be like, oh, this or that. I'm just trying to be able to relay some of that information so that way if you have a similar scenario that ends up happening to you, and you can afford it, go out of your way and do something nice, because not every family member or friend is going to do something like that or think of to do something like that. So if you can think of something nice that you can do for someone and you don't expect anything in return, and again, and you have the means to do it, do it. It could really, being like the saving grace for someone, even though it might be something as simple as just a meal for someone on a Friday night, but not having to pay for your own meal and being able to have a little fun, with it to kind of get your mind away from some of the tragedy that happened earlier in the week. It definitely can make things change a little bit for the better. So if you get yourself into a scenario like myself, make sure you do the right thing, even if things are a little tight in the finances. Good karma will come back around and bless you. All right, Crown Jewel is over, so I can turn that off now. 14-7, Oregon. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need 8 more to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. And I'll get a little Jonah Coleman up here for Oreo. Once we get into halftime, I'll have more time to be able to pull up some more photos, and hopefully that won't be the last dono on the dono train that we get. Hopefully we can get a few more. 14-7, Oregon. Appreciate you, Captain. And good luck tonight against the Trojans. Shotgun set, man in motion, run up the gut. Mullings for 7, down to the Michigan 32. Megan with a 20, appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang bang. Should be a good one. I'll definitely be watching Trojans and Huskies later on this afternoon. That's on the bucket list for me. Gotta watch it. Appreciate you. Let me know which kind of photos that you're looking for here, and then I'll be able to get those here during the commercial break. Not sure if you're going to be able to be here since you said you have to go to church, so you probably are going to be out and about. So I'll get photos for you as soon as possible. Let me know what you want. Anybody specifically on the USC team, I can do that. You just want your regulars like Anson, I can do that as well. You let me know. Appreciate you. 14-7, Oregon. Yeah, so you get to go to church and then watch the game. Perfect. You don't have to worry about missing anything. First down and 10. Got about an hour. Okay. Shotgun set. Good defense there by Oregon. 2-yard gain by Mullins. Second down and 6 at the Michigan 41. I got you. And then there'll definitely be some bragging rights on the channel after today. Both teams sitting at a 4-4 record. And I'll be honest, as an Oregon fan, I was actually kind of hoping that both you guys, and it's a new division, lots of changes, a lot of players that are no longer there, and not only that, Washington lost their coach on top of that, but I'm hoping that you guys can end up getting back, to where you guys were last year, and obviously that's not going to be something that's going to be done overnight, coaching and players and recruiting. But hopefully you guys can end up, being closer to Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana in the near future. I would love that. 3rd down and 7. Warren looking for a receiver, tipped in the air, incomplete. Good defense there by the Ducks, by Jabbar Muhammad and company. Michigan with the punt. And fair caught there by Evan Stewart. And that's probably who we should have had back there originally, instead of, giving an opportunity to someone brand new as the backup. So, Dan Lanning will learn from that mistake again. So if we end up having an injury to someone like a Tez Johnson, who normally is going to be our kick returner, punt returner, as well as our number 1 receiver, and if he ends up being hurt, we got to put in the next guy who's the most capable, and that's Evan Stewart. So again, wanted to give another player an opportunity for, a moment to be able to make a play. Probably doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, but if you end up fumbling your one opportunity, then you might not see a lot of playing time after that. So Dizzy D in the building. What's good? We'll get some more photos lined up at halftime, but I'll just try to squeak in at least a couple here for you. And he's had some good games and he's had some off games, but it hasn't really necessarily been like all his fault. Again, seems like the defense is better than it was last year, but it's still a little bit of a work in progress. Should be a good one later today. And I love being able to watch, your other teams in the division do well. Britt in the building. What's good? She said, let's go Michigan. Love you. Britt's back is broken from moving all kinds of furniture. Nice Statue of Liberty play there by Dennis Dixon. The good old days. And then back when we had Jason Fife in 2003, I got that one on VHS still. Yeah. Are you getting anybody to help you, or are you pretty much just having to, get most of that? Yeah. Well, if I wasn't so far away, I would be there to help you. And I would. 1st down and 10. Handoff up the middle. Jordan James for 2 yards to the Oregon 15. Doing it solo. Well, your son is definitely going to appreciate all your hard work, even though it may not seem like it right away. But, again, anytime you have to move into a new room or a new house or a new apartment, or even if you're just moving stuff from one area of the house to another or one room into another, sometimes it's not as easy as people think, especially if you got, heavy dressers, mattresses, and other things that are a part of the room. But I know that he'll appreciate you, for all the hard work that you put in at some point. Going long, going deep towards the sideline. Incomplete. Evan Stewart, the intended receiver. But hopefully, you'll be able to get a majority of that work done. So then you'll be able to kick your feet up, and then we'll both be able to watch the NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow. And you can take at least a couple hour break, from all the moving and whatnot. And then you can enjoy some NASCAR with me. He's complaining it's not done fast enough. 3rd down and 8. Gabriel gets out of the pressure. Down the sideline, incomplete. How did Halloween go for him at school when they decided, instead of doing like superheroes or whatever, that they decided just to be like, well, let's just do pajama day instead? How did that go? Everything went well, I assume. You can't really mess up pajama day. Uh-oh. Colton can't even pick up his own clothes to make it easier for mama. Ducks with the punt. Well, hopefully you'll get a little bit of help before the day is up. Wow, what a bounce right there. Not ideal for Oregon there with the bounce back from the punt from James, but hopefully we can hold them to a punt or a field goal on this possession, or maybe we can get a turnover. Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're going to get any help, unfortunately. But sometimes you got to, do things solo. I'll be there with you in spirit. I remember with, one of my ex-girlfriends, when we had to move from one apartment to another, I literally ended up moving like the whole apartment myself, and it was her and her daughter, no help, and whatnot. So, and if it was very minimal and whatnot. So sometimes that's how it goes. Yeah, get the Red Bulls. There you go. So you can Hulk up. See what time the race is on tomorrow, if it's on at like 11:30 a.m. or if it's on early. Let's see what we got here. All right, NASCAR Cup Series. Ooh, 11. That's early. And at Martinsville, Blaney won it last. So 11 a.m., which will be 2 p.m. for you there on the East Coast. So I'll definitely have to go for my my earlier walk. So Hamlin crashed. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. We only got 2 races left, so got to be able to soak in as much action as possible and hope that Chase gets a victory, so that way that he can punch his ticket, into the championship Final Four on the last race there in Phoenix. So time is running out. Napa, no how. Let him know, Captain. 14-7, Oregon. But a competitive first half so far, which I assumed it would be. But, I'm still waiting for that big play, that big fumble, that big sack lunch, that big punch out, the big pick six, that big play to kind of separate us from Michigan. But we might not get it until the second half. Man in motion. First down and 10 at the Oregon 47. Screen pass. Good tackle right there. Gang tackle by the Ducks. I love it. Let them know. Well, that's a good sign. In 2020. Him winning the championship seems so many years ago, you know, even though we know it hasn't been that many, but I guess, you know, it depends on, you know, if you're one of those people that watches every race every weekend or tries to. Seems like it was yesterday when he won. Second down and 13. But it actually has felt like a minute, you know, obviously with the whole skiing, snowboarding accident and trying to get back to his championship ways. So in one way, it kind of feels like pass incomplete, that it's been, you know, just not that long. But then also, you know, considering all of the races that I've watched since 2020 till now, it kind of has felt like a little bit of time has passed. But he's still in his prime. That's for damn sure. Never know how. (14-7) Oregon. Let's go Savage. Third down and 13 on the 50 of Michigan. Shotgun set. Screen pass. Runs into his own man. There we go. Good defense by Oregon. Not giving up anything big behind them. Everything is just in front of them. If you just want to run draws and screen passes, go right ahead, but that ain't going to beat the Ducks. There we go. We got Evan Stewart back there. Good man. And a good punt by Michigan. All right, see if I can sprinkle in some photos real quick. See if I can get a... See if I can get another Jonah Coleman here real quick for Captain. And we'll see what other photos I can pull up here for Megan. Should be a good one. Huskies and Trojans. They'll be battling it out. That's for damn sure. And I could definitely see the game going either way. I really don't know what's going to happen tonight. Nine minutes to go in the second quarter, 14-7, Oregon. All right, let's see if I can squeeze in a couple here right before we get back to commercial. Squeezing. Commercials don't last very long. And appreciate the support. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. little bit of a mixed collage and a mixed bag. Even throw a little F1 in there for you. Appreciate you. Shout out to Captain and Megan for holding it down. We are at 25, 75 to go, 14-7 Oregon. WWE Crown Jewel just got wrapped up. Not the greatest PLE, but still worth watching. If you haven't watched it, I would recommend watching it later today on a replay, which I probably will do again. Patrick Herbert. Go, Pat. Second down and 5. Ferguson, the intended receiver / tight end, incomplete. You got to be careful throwing those passes, towards the sideline like that across your body. Just a matter of time before we get something like that, picked off for a pick 6 or something. So, yes, good old Liv. She's definitely much improved as a wrestler in the last couple of years. Third down and 5. On the Oregon 11, shotgun set. Gabriel, get that first down. Spinning and just getting enough. Evan Stewart. Here we go. Nice job, Evan. First down and 10 at the Oregon 16. Shotgun set, screen pass. Justice Lowe for the short reception there. 5-yard gain for Justice Lowe. Second down and 6 on the Oregon 21. Go Ducks. Pound the rock, baby. Don't go away from that. We can do draws and screen passes like Michigan as well, but we want to make sure that we're not going against one of our strengths, which is our running game. There we go. Right up the gut. First down, Oregon. Jordan James. Move the chains. Hey, it might not be LaMichael James, but we'll take it. Nice job, Jordan. Gabriel towards the sideline. There he is, low again. First down, Oregon. Let's go. Go Ducks. And a 21-7 lead at halftime will be not necessarily comfortable, but again, that's exactly what we're going to try to be shooting for here. Not to have them score a field goal or a touchdown in the last 2 to 3 minutes, and hopefully we can punch it into the end zone to get a 21-7 lead. Jordan James bouncing it to the outside, run his ass over. Here we go. Man in motion, halfback toss. Jordan James to the outside, short of the marker. Second down and 2. Now down to third down and 1. So we got Noah Whittington to come in. I like Liv as well. Touchdown, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel to Trayshawn Holden, 38 yards. You ask and you shall receive. Touchdown, Ducks. Noah Whittington, touchdown, Oregon. There we go. I like it. Trayshawn Holden, big play. Noah Whittington, 6-yard rush. There we go, baby. 20-7 Ducks. I love it. Look at Whittington's athleticism. Unbelievable. Hit him with the spin move. Got a little bit of that Bucky Irving in him. And even when he ends up running into his own guy, doing a little bit of a slower spin move, giving a nice stiff arm to Barry. And whoever else wants it, extra point is up and good. 21-7 Oregon. Runs into his own man, no problem. And when we get to the sideline, Michigan looks defeated. 21-7 Ducks. Hell yeah. There we go. Good stuff, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully Michigan fans haven't turned off the TV yet. You know, and it's kind of crazy because, like I said, if I compare this offense to any of the teams that have been to Rose Bowls or Natties, it's probably the worst offense that we've had compared to those other teams. But the difference is our defense is way better than any of the teams that we've had in the past. So, again, if we have to take a step backwards on the offense to get 10 steps better on the defense, I'll take it. And as long as the offense is, you know, more times than not playing like a top 5 or top 10 team, you know, and an occasional mistake here and there, you know, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year where we end up playing Georgia in the Natty and we win, you know, but we could also get to the Natty and lose to Georgia. I mean, we know that as well, but I mean, that's who I would want to beat if we could win it all. Either Ohio State, you know, we're probably going to get them in the Big Ten championship again, but, you know, Ohio State or Georgia would be, you know, probably at the top of my list. If, you know, we were both to succeed and get to that championship game, the Natty, you know, it would be playing Georgia would be my first choice, and then Ohio State probably second. But, you know, knowing that Oregon and Ohio State would probably line up in the bracket prior to getting to the Natty and playing each other. So I just want to play the best of the best, so that way there's no doubters or haters. We've already beaten the supposedly best Big Ten team in Ohio State, right? And we're trying to take over the Big Ten in year number 1, being a Pac-12 team. You know, but we already know, you know, Georgia and Bama and some of these teams, they may not be as good as they were last year. But again, they still got a lot of NFL bodies on the defensive side of the ball, so anything is possible. I feel like anyone can win the Natty this year. It's definitely up for grabs. Could be Bama, could be Georgia, could be Ohio State, could be Texas, could be Oregon, could be a surprise team that kind of comes out of nowhere. I would like to say like Miami, but I don't think their defense is good enough. You know, their offense is amazing, one of the best in the country, but their defense is not very good. But you never know what could happen in the playoff. You might just be able to outscore your opponent. 2nd down and 8, man in motion. Shotgun set. Warren. Davis looking for a man. He's open. 1st down, Wolverines. People love it, man. They can't handle it when their team isn't good, you know. People just, you know, they love to get worked up, you know, when they start seeing a team that normally isn't, you know, at the top of the board. But again, with the college football playoff, you know, and everything that's transpired with that, you know, you're going to see a shift. It's not going to be the same teams that dominated. Nice run after catch right there. 1st down, Wolverines. Again, I know a lot of people are used to seeing Georgia or Bama, at the very, very top. And if it's not them, Ohio State or Michigan. But we're in a different world now, with the college football playoff, and obviously with Saban and Harbaugh, leaving the game on the college side, right? Harbaugh going to the Chargers, Saban retiring. It's definitely a brand new college football outlook moving forward. So. Shotgun set. Orgy looking for a receiver, incomplete. People hated it seeing other people have success. The jealousy factor really does come out, But it definitely shows you, where college football is at. If you don't have an elite coach, you're not going to be able to hang around with a lot of the big boys in the recruiting, And that's just the simple facts. I mean, look at the drop-off with Bama, look at the drop-off with Michigan, and then obviously Ohio State and Oregon and Texas, and some of the top dogs at the top. If you still got your coach, then, that's going to be a big, big thing. Recruiting is everything. (21-7) Oregon. Plus, we've already gone through, a lot of, tough trials and tribulations. It's not like Oregon, ends up making it to the Rose Bowl or the Natty every year, and we're, like an Alabama or like a Georgia. We already know that in years past, we didn't have enough big boys up front on the O-line and D-line to compete. And that was the honest truth. It's hard to compete, when you're going against offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the SEC that are NFL, and they weigh 20, 30, 40 more pounds and are just as quick. It's hard to keep up, with teams that are built that way. But now that we have Dan Lanning coming from Georgia and bringing that SEC Georgia Bulldog mentality, we're starting to get recruits that normally would consider Michigan and Ohio State, Georgia and Bama, and now they're like, I want to go to Oregon. So now it feels like a little bit more of an even playing field where you're getting the similar type of athletes, the similar type of skill set, and at the end of the day, it's going to come down to coaching, and who's got the best coach and the best play callers, and then obviously execution. So, just because you end up having the players doesn't necessarily mean they're going to execute and get you to, a natty. But I do feel pretty confident that if we don't make it this year, all is not for nothing. Like I said, if we can get Dan Lanning to stay for 5 to 10 years, it's almost inevitable that we'll make a natty at least 1, 2, 3 times. Now, we might not win it every time. We might have to go 3 times and only win once. But if we win once, that'll be good enough for me. I just want to be able to see that before I'm not, breathing anymore. I want to make sure that I get at least one natty and 1 chip, under our belt. And if we're being honest, we should have had the one in 2010 based off this jersey and the gloves that I'm wearing. That was the one that we deserved to win. When we had Marcus Mariota and played Ohio State, I already knew that we weren't going to win that 100%. But the one with Darren Thomas and LaMichael and DeAnthony, that was the one that we should have won, and just unfortunate that, the Auburn running back ended up rolling over on another player, got those additional yards. They kicked the field goal and we lost, but that was really the one that I feel that we kind of let get away. That should have been an Oregon chip. That was one of the best teams Oregon has had overall, besides the 2001 team with Joey Harrington, when we ended up, beating Colorado in the Fiesta Bowl, way back in that BCS era, when it was Miami and Nebraska, and we played Colorado, even though we should have played Miami in the BCS championship that year, and we got snubbed. Shotgun set. Davis Warren down the sideline, incomplete. Go. The last thing that obviously the haters want is Oregon to win a championship, because then they can't be like, whoa, you got 100 different jersey combinations and no chips. What happens once we get one, or we get two, or we get three? Then what are you going to say? You won't be able to say anything. So, and honestly, a lot of the teams that don't have the jersey, helmet, sock, armband option, if their school had enough money and and the creativity to come up, with those uniforms the way that Oregon does, they would definitely want it too. I don't know anyone that would want to just wear two jerseys all season, home and away. There we go, baby. We held them to a field goal, 21-10, Oregon. We still got a minute 51 left to get another field goal or possibly a touchdown to make it 24-10 or 28-10. But even, with you, Captain Oreo, again, a lot of it, people will always like to bring up things and try to talk shit. But I guarantee if, the Huskies had Phil Knight and they were pumping out different color combos of chrome and silver and white and purple and black, you guys would be in fucking heaven. Regardless if the record isn't there every year, it would be fun. Purple face mask, purple visor, black visor, clear visor, different colored helmets, white, black, chrome, purple. It would be amazing. To act like, that wouldn't be a cool thing. And me just describing it, you can kind of almost envision it in your head, like Oregon uniforms, but with a Washington Husky kind of, touch to it, like what the alternate uniforms could look like for the Huskies if they had that kind of backing, Little hezzy there at the end zone, probably should have kneeled it, but we'll take it. I can visualize it in my head, just the colors that you guys have with a little bit of the gold and then the purple, the black, and all the different options that you could have with helmets and pants, tops and bottoms, cleats. You could go all purple, you could go all white, purple and black. It could be crazy, man. And again, if you actually look at the Duck helmets and the jerseys and the pants and the socks, there's a lot of attention to detail. It's not just like a white jersey. You have to zoom in and look at all the subtle details that are on every single jersey. And all those little subtle pieces that make the jersey complete, that's what it's about. It's not just about, the wings or, the O or the Nike symbol. You have to dig a little bit deeper to look at, the fabric that's being used and the way that the little subtle details that are on the jerseys. And sometimes you can't even tell with the jerseys and helmets unless you get to see a close-up photo. 2nd down and 8. Shotgun set. Gabriel steps up in the pocket. There we go. Oh, Trayshawn Hold'em. He made him break his ankles. First down, Oregon. Let's go. Well, you tell me, would you like to be able to have 10, different jersey, helmet, pant combos? I think anybody would be in heaven with that. Going deep. Whoa, one-handed grab in the back of the end zone. Wow. Evan Stewart with the one-handed grab. Odell Beckham Jr. Who? Oh my, we saw Odell do it, we saw Garrett Wilson do it, and now we see Evan Stewart do it. He got the left foot down. Wow. And that's how you end up scoring a tutty. And then they had an ineligible downfield. Get out of here with the ineligible. Oh, brutal. You would be able to come up with different jersey combinations. Even with the colors that you have, you just have to think outside the box. You have your traditional colors, and then you can end up doing, all white, all cardinal red, and then they could end up having an alternate, maybe with black. Like I said, there's going to be different ways that you could have the creativity come out to make it work. So it still feels like a USC jersey, but it's definitely one of the throwbacks or alternates. It's not going to be one of the main ones, but any team can expand their jersey or helmet portfolio. Let's see if we get the foot down. Oh, it looks like he was out of bounds. Second down and 15. Can't believe we got robbed there by that ineligible man downfield with that one-handed grab by Evan Stewart. Second down and 15. Gabriel, little screen pass. Follow your blockers. Close to the marker. There we go. First down, Ducks on 3rd down and 1. Nice job. Timeout, Oregon. Six more likes to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 5 more likes to 20. We're at 15. 5 more to go. All right, 747, almost at 1,000 views. We should get there a little bit after halftime. Have a good time at church and good luck. Later this afternoon, I will be watching the Trojans and Huskies go at it. The diamond plate with the wings. Just when you thought that the Oregon uniforms couldn't get any more icy than they were in the Pac-12, some of these combos with the Big Ten that they're releasing this year are just beautiful. First down and 10. Little check down, incomplete. Still a little weird getting adjusted to the Big Ten, network and the Big Ten symbol and us being actually in the Big Ten. It's still kind of like a shock a little bit, but again, when you end up having commissioners that are greedy, all about money in the Pac-12, then they ended up ruining it for everyone. So this is what we're having to deal with, and hopefully we can dominate as long as possible. Yeah, I watched the Penn State-Ohio State game. Their quarterback was injured as well, though, Aller. So it's like, there we go. Touchdown, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel right up the gut. You don't have Tez Johnson. Run it with Dylan. There we go, baby. Extra point is up and good. 28-10, Oregon. All right, this is exactly kind of how I felt the game was going to go. They would have a little bit, but again, if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot with that fumble off the punt, maybe the score right now is 28-3, or maybe it's even higher, maybe 31-3. But we'll take it. 28-10. There's no doubt in anyone's minds that we're winning this game, and we're gonna run the table. We're gonna go undefeated in the regular season. Then we have to see what happens in the Big Ten championship against Ohio State, more than likely. And then if we win that, then we got to be able to see what we can do in the college football playoff, where anybody can beat anyone on any given day. Nice job, Dylan. Hell yeah. Let's go. 177 to 178 for Case Keenum. He's going to be the FBS all-time leader. That's for damn sure. He might end up being at 200 by the time the season ends. I mean, what did Michigan fans think? That they were playing in the big house, that Oregon is overrated, and they were just going to come in here and they were just going to beat the shit out of us? Is that what they thought? And I think regardless if they want to admit it or not, again, bringing in these 4 Pac-12 teams, again, 3 of them, are not really having the season that they wanted. But for the one, us, we're in the same category as any of the big boys. And like I said, it's just adding another super piece, into a conference that already has a lot of good teams. 5 more likes to get to 20. Let's get there. And then we're at, 25, 75 to go. And Michigan is scared, so they decide to run it up the middle. And that's halftime, 28-10, Oregon. Talk soon. And we got a Kraken game on as well against the Senators at 4. So I'll be watching that, and I'll be watching USC and the Huskies go at it too. So. Yeah, too bad that Evan Stewart touchdown did not count, but yeah, no worries. And like I said, I can always scoop up some more. We'll be live, obviously, tomorrow for Sunday Night Football. I will be watching the Kraken later today, as well as USC and Washington. But then as far as tomorrow is concerned, it'll be Colts and Vikings, which actually should be pretty intriguing. Sam Darnold versus Joe Flacco, which is much better than AR Anthony Richardson. So I think the Colts-Vikings game actually is going to be pretty fucking good. And it might end up being into a little bit of a shootout. So hopefully that ends up delivering. And then we got the Buccaneers and the Chiefs on Monday night. So we'll see on how all that plays out. I know the Bucs will lose to the Chiefs since we don't have Mike Evans or Chris Godwin pretty much for the rest of the year. But hopefully we don't get embarrassed out there and we can at least play halfway decent football. But obviously our NFC South dreams, as well as making the playoffs and making a deep run, are over. But we can always play spoiler to Kansas City possibly. But I highly doubt that we would compete with them. Even if Mahomes is struggling like he is this year, the Chiefs should be able to win that by, you would assume they'll win by 10 points or more. But we'll wait and find out. So Odin in the building. Does Notre Dame have a bye this week, or are they playing this week? They have a bye? I didn't see them on here. I think they have a bye. You got to wait till next week. Washington at Penn State next week. Ooh. Purdue at Ohio State. Ooh. Michigan at Indiana. Notre Dame plays Florida State at home. Oh, God. You're going to beat the brakes off of them next week. We got Bama LSU next week. Hurts over Allen. I mean, like I said, you can. I think when you have, a fantasy team built the way that you do, I mean, there's not really necessarily like a wrong answer. You got 3 quarterbacks that are in the top 6, ranking. But like you said, one is kind of injured, and Jaden Daniels. So Jaden Daniels, if he ended up being healthy and playing the whole game, he could get 20 to 30 points. But we just don't know. If he gets hit once, he might end up going out, and there goes your points, right? Then you got Josh Allen, but he's in a tough matchup, right? So if you look at the matchup, obviously, being like a red and like a red 1 or 2, that's a little bit challenging. But Josh is still good enough to get 20 to 30 points, even with a red matchup. Right, we know that. he can throw the ball, he can run the ball. They got plenty of options there with Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, as well as Shakir, right? As well as a good, solid running back to be able to get them yards on the ground in James Cook. But then with Jalen Hurts, you get the same thing that you get out of Josh Allen, with the arm and the legs, but an easier matchup. So hopefully that'll work out for you. But Jalen's last 3 games, 21, 22, and 35. So I think you can feel pretty comfortable. And then even in the beginning, it wasn't bad. He's only had 1 bad game all year. 16, 23, 10 against New Orleans, 16 against Tampa. But the last 3, 22, 23, and 35. So, and you're going against Jacksonville. And hell, anyone going against Jacksonville has been putting up 25 to 30 fantasy points. I had to stream Joe Flacco against Jacksonville, almost got me 30. And I had to stream with Caleb Williams against Jacksonville and almost got 30. And we know Jalen Hurts is better than those 2 guys. So yeah, I think that would be the smart move, and that's where I would go. So hopefully that works for you. Yeah, I thought that was the worst pay-per-view that we've seen in the Triple H era. I was going to say somewhere between like a 5 and a 7.5. It definitely didn't give you the feeling of an 8, 8.5, which normally Crown Jewel is. It's not going to be a 9. It's not going to be a 9.5 or a 10, but you kind of hope that it ends up being at least at minimum an 8, 8.5. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it was really as good as we were hoping. Obviously the initial match with the OTC and the original tribal chief, the one true champion, with Roman Reigns and Jimmy and Jay and all that. So obviously that was kind of a cool way to start off the PLE. But overall, a lot of the matches that were like in the middle of that pay-per-view were kind of meh. It didn't really matter. It just kind of felt like you were watching like Raw or SmackDown. It didn't really feel necessarily like a pay-per-view or a PLE. So hopefully next month will be better. What's the next pay-per-view after this one? It's one of the major ones, isn't it? What's after Crown Jewel? And hopefully that works out for you, because I mean, hell, if Jalen Hurts can't get 25 to 30 points against Jacksonville, just like Flacco and Caleb Williams, then that's just going to be a Jalen thing. But I think that would be the smart way to go about it. So I still think that Allen and Jaden Daniels could still have good weeks, but it's definitely a little bit more risky, based on injury with Daniels and then Allen playing a defense that hasn't given up too many touchdowns yet. So. I just can't wait to be able to use Christian McCaffrey like once or twice before the season ends. I got to be able to think positive, and being able to like use my top 2 guys for the first time together. I mean, it's like by the time I actually get to use them, it's like we're only going to have a couple weeks left. But I can't wait to be able to use Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey, and hopefully both of those guys can put up like 25 each. So that way I can feel what it was like if I were to have, Christian at the very beginning of the year. I probably would be sitting in like 3rd or 4th place right now instead of sitting out, bottom 3. But, it is what it is. What was your favorite match on the Crown Jewel? Did you have one, Odin? Gruden loves football. Good stuff, man. You want to be able to look at some football breakdowns. Watch John Gruden. He's not only got the most informative and educational, he also has videos that are the most hilarious about how intense he is. Incredible. So it looks like most people are rating it like a 4 to a 7. This is the lowest overall numbers that we've seen. So, but again, it's Crown Jewel. It's in Saudi Arabia. It's not going to be one of the bigger PLEs. It's actually one that we already kind of anticipate that's going to be not as good. Now, I'm going to go back and rewatch it from the very beginning, even though I watched the whole thing in entirety with Ohio State, Penn State this morning. But I'm going to go back and watch it again later tonight. I'm going to watch the Kraken play. I'm going to watch USC and Washington play. And then later tonight, I'll probably rewatch the whole pay-per-view to see if there's anything that I missed. And then I can kind of go over it. But, yeah, it definitely felt like it was the first PLE that kind of underwhelmed a little bit. Yeah, and they definitely could have went for what the crowd wanted with Jimmy and Jay and Roman. But to have, like, the new Bloodline win in a pay-per-view that doesn't really matter, that was the right way to go. So, yeah. Well, these are two guys that both you love, I love, and I think fans love. I don't know if I've ever heard of anyone that says that they don't enjoy watching Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, do what they do. So. Penn State, if they just played a little bit more clean, they could have beat Ohio State, had a couple touchdowns, come back to penalties, and had that interception right before halftime. And again, it shows you like how tough it is to end up beating a top dog, whether that ends up being Georgia or Bama or Ohio State or whoever it may be at that current time. It's not going to be easy to knock off, a top 5 team. Even if you are a top 5 team yourself, it's like you got to make sure you bring it. And I think if Penn State had better players on offense, that it would have definitely, been a little bit closer, even though they only ended up losing by 7. But now if Penn State had like Saquon Barkley this year, then that might have been the difference, that they could end up beating Ohio State. But if you don't have a dynamic player like a Saquon there, you're not going to be able to get that job done. And both teams have been very bad beating top 5 competition, James Franklin and Ryan Day. So. War games. How are the Devils looking in hockey? I haven't really got a chance to talk to you too much lately. I know you've been really busy. How are the Devils looking for New Jersey? See, it looks like you guys lost yesterday 3-0 to the Flames, but hopefully you guys can get back on track on Sunday. Or maybe Monday. You guys play the Oilers on Monday. Well, you guys are first place in the Metro, so you're doing a hell of a lot better than the Kraken. We're third from the bottom, so you guys are doing just fine. Yeah, they're not garbage. First place, man. That's good. Wish we could say the same. That's hilarious. My best friend's sister named their cat after me. Oh, that's hilarious. 16 for 22, 217 yards, 1 tutty, no picks, and a 23-yard rushing tutty, 6th of the season. And again, I wasn't really too impressed with Gabriel early on. It was a kind of like a poor man's Tim Tebow. Couldn't really run as much as Tebow. Couldn't really throw with touch at times like Tebow could, at that body frame being a lefty. But, since the Boise State game, there's been a transformation, not only with the offensive line, but with Dylan Gabriel himself and Will Stein, our coordinator. And it shows. We went from a team that looked like we were, maybe a top 15 team to being the best team in the country. And it's really nice to be able to see that progression, because it could have went really, really bad early on in the season. And, I'm glad that we were able to adjust and, have the proper coach motivate us and to get us to this point where we're at right now, 28-10, Oregon. Oh, no, you're good, bro. There'll be plenty of people that hop in, that are just going to be quiet, or they're, doing other things. So you're good, my guy. I'll do some bare knuckle or some boxing or some UFC. All right, baby. Let's get to the second half. Too bad Notre Dame isn't playing. I definitely would be tuning in, but we'll have to wait till next week. You got to be probably pretty impressed, with what you've seen so far. And, you got yourself a running back in Kyron Williams, who is a top 5 running back in the NFL. So, Notre Dame is starting to pump out some pretty good talent, where I think a lot of people were doubting Kyron Williams, and he ended up getting drafted by the perfect coach in Sean McVay, knowing how to use his skill set and his abilities. And now Kyron is, must-see TV. And he's awesome, man. He's great for fantasy, and he's a great player in real life. UFC's on tonight. That's something I could always watch as well. East versus West 15 arm wrestling. Fury Pro grappling 11. Cage Warriors 179. Polaris 30. Condit versus MVP. And then we got UFC Fight Night. Moreno versus Albazi. That's tonight, it looks like. Maybe I'll tune into that. Sounds like I have a lot to be able to do. I still got to take Paisley on another long walk and whatnot, but who you taking? Keane or Bonner? Who you like more? I'm just happy that you're here hanging out with me, man. Like I said, if I had my choice, I would love to be able to hang out and talk with you every day. But, I know that with the job and the kids and everything else that's going on, you're a busy guy. But on Monday night, are you going to be able to hang out and watch the Chiefs and the Bucks here, or do you have plans on going somewhere, like watching the game with family or friends or the bar or something? I mean, I know the Chiefs are going to end up winning that game, and it might get ugly, but it would always be cool to see some of the Chiefs Kingdom in the stream hang out and watch your guys' team beat the shit out of mine. Now, if I would have had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, I think that we would be able to beat you guys. I think it would be very 50-50. Like our defense has, not been very good in the last couple weeks since we lost Evans and Godwin. But up to that point, they were actually decent, as long as our guys weren't hurt. And our offense was one of the top 5 in the NFL. And Baker looked like an MVP candidate, over Mahomes, which is kind of crazy. But now with no Evans and Godwin, we have no chance of winning the NFC South. The Falcons are going to win the division. And I just hope that, if we're going to play football, that at least Baker can play for pride. And hopefully that we just don't get embarrassed the rest of the way. But, but somehow, some way, if the Bucs ended up making a wild card in the last spot, being like 9-8 or something like that. I don't want to be like the Eagles last year and make the playoffs and get absolutely obliterated in the first round by 1 billion. I would rather us, have a losing record, not make the playoffs, and then just try to get a good draft pick, so. Yeah. And I know they made a few releases. They released a couple female wrestlers and Baron Corbin as well. So WWE thinning out their roster a little bit. Indy Hartwell and Baron Corbin, and then one other individual. O'Connor's in the house. Five more likes to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20. We can hit the algorithm. But we should hit over 1,000 on this stream, and that's typical for a Duck stream. So we hit 1,500 Ohio State, Oregon. Surprisingly, we hit over 1,800 for Illinois and Oregon. And right now we're at 802. So we have a good chance of getting over 1,000 in this one too. All right, we're just about ready to get over here past half time. I'm going to go check up on Paisley here real quick. All right, I got Paisley in the studio now. She misses her dad. She wants to be able to see the Ducks win. He says, woof, woof, Odin. All right, baby, let's go. 28-10, Oregon. And hopefully we can end up putting up, something in the high 40s. I would love us to, get at least a couple more touchdowns, 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, or 3 more touchdowns. To get as close to 50 as possible. And we want to be able to hold Michigan to 20 or less. Obviously, they're at 10 right now. But hopefully we can hold them to just another field goal or touchdown by the end of the game. Oh, Bonner knocked him out, huh? He's like, Keen's talented, and then boom, knocked out. Nestler and Danielson. I'm used to watching these guys call SEC football, so for them to do Big Ten is a little unusual, but I like these guys. These are kind of the equivalent to the Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on CBS, just a little bit older. All right, Captain. 28-10, Oregon's got the ball. Shotgun set. And we're doing all of this with our number 1 receiver injured. Right, he hasn't returned back to the game, and I don't know if we're going to see him, the rest of the season or. I'm not sure where the extent of the injury is, if it ended up being like a clavicle that ended up getting fractured, or if it ends up being a shoulder separation or what. But it shows you, even with our number one receiver out, that, we can still end up hanging and putting up some pretty big numbers. And obviously Evan Stewart's going to have to be the number one now moving forward until Tez comes back, but he's definitely very capable. He had that one-handed Odell Beckham, Garrett Wilson kind of catch that got called off because of an Oregon penalty, which is unfortunate, and maybe we'll see another one of those one-handed grabs again. 3rd down and 6. We're at 25, 75 to go. 4 more to get to 20. Let's get there. Thank you, Captain. Appreciate you and the help. It's always nice to be able to get at least one mod to be able to take over lead mod duties, since we don't really have a lead mod anymore. But we will one day. It'll just be a combined effort from the mods. Little screen pass on 3rd down and 6, and Michigan forces a punt. Fourth down and 4. Fair caught by Morris at the Michigan, looks like 25, 24. Daniel in the building, what's good? I mean, the next time that Oregon's going to lose a game, is going to be in the Big Ten championship or in the college football playoff. We're not going to be losing, to some of these teams that we're playing. Like I said, I honestly feel, that the Pac-12 competition is harder than the Big Ten. Like I said, I feel like the Big Ten has got a few teams that are very, very good, but top to bottom, the Pac-12 was way more competitive, and there was more parity, like in the NFL, where anybody could beat anyone. Arizona State, Utah, like the Huskies, the Cougs, the Beavers, they might not be ranked in the top 25, but if you end up having a top 25 team play another top 25 team in the Pac-12, or even a team that's unranked, every once in a while, the Beavers would beat the Trojans, or something like that. And I feel in the Big Ten, a lot of the teams that are in the middle and the bottom, they're just not good. Like I said, I feel like some of the teams in the middle are okay, but if you look at like the teams that are at the bottom, I mean, I feel like the Pac-12 teams at the bottom would destroy the bottom Big Ten teams. So we were the best conference in football last year. First down, Wolverines. Like, I still think like the Trojans and the Huskies, those teams aren't bad, and they're in the middle. It's just a transitional period. One team lost, Caleb Williams and some players, had a bad D. The other team lost, their fucking head coach and all their star players to the NFL. So a little bit different circumstance for USC and Washington. And eventually they will be in the upper half of the Big Ten. It may take a couple years, but they'll get there, but... and obviously you'll always have every once in a while a decent Wisconsin or Iowa team, and normally it's going to be Ohio State and Oregon and Penn State kind of towards the top, and then hopefully Michigan can get themselves back towards the top as well. But and then Indiana's having a great year this year. That is a little surprising, but there's a lot of shitty teams in the Big Ten, let's just be honest. Washington State. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not the number one team in the country for no reason. Now, if our defense wasn't, top 3 in the country, then I would say, anybody can beat anyone. But really, that's the difference, is our defense is the best it's ever been. When's the last time you've seen Oregon's defense be like the strong suit of the team, let alone being ranked top 3 with teams like Georgia and Texas and teams that normally have amazing defenses? That's not usually our MO. But we're starting to build a little baby Georgia Bulldog defense here. Just like the Seahawks, when they ended up getting McDonald from the Ravens, you're trying to build a little baby Raven D. It's going to take a while to get the right personnel and the right players that McDonald wants to bring over. but eventually, it's going to happen over there too. Well, the bottom line is losing to Rutgers and Washington State, those should have not happened. Those are games that you should have both won. And I think, we're both in agreement to that. Kind of shot yourself in the foot with penalties and missed field goals and bad luck, First down, Wolverines through the chains. Cool kid in the building. What's good? I would have rather have had Washington State, Oregon State, Utah over UCLA, but they brought UCLA in for fucking basketball, as well as the rivalry with USC to keep that kind of intact. Oregon-Washington rivalry, USC, UCLA, but, nice tackle there by Oregon. But, I definitely would have, chosen, quite a few teams over UCLA. They don't really have the same type of star power as maybe in years past, when they had like Ed and Charles O'Bannon, for basketball, and, obviously had some moments in football as well. But also those are the guys that ended up suing, EA Sports and everything, so that way we couldn't have the goddamn names on the back of the jerseys in the games and all that. So they kind of ruined everything for people in college football and in college sports for that lawsuit that they did. Second down and 14. Yeah, Utah's in the Big 12. They would have been much better in the Big 10. Loveland. First down, Wolverines. Looks like they're about to score a touchdown here. Judah in the building. What's good? Shotgun set, little handoff up the middle. And you got to think Washington State had Cam Ward, and then Cam Ward transferred to the U with Mario Cristobal, so he plucked their best player, and they're still having a good year, with the new coach and everything new there for the Cougs, right? And then obviously Damian Martinez was the best player for the Beavers at running back, and he's the star running back for the U. So if you don't get Cam Ward from the Cougars and you don't get Damian Martinez from the Beavers, then we're not even talking about Miami right now. So again, sometimes you can end up plucking the best players from other schools, adding it to your current roster, and then you end up getting something magical like Mario Cristobal and the U this year. Shotgun set. Orgy, where you going, Orgy? Nowhere. Good tackle. Sit down. Bruins finally got a win. Congrats. Yeah. But if Notre Dame ends up joining a conference, it's going to be the Big Ten, obviously based off where they're located in Indiana and being in kind of the mix of Big Ten country. So we'll see if they end up joining at one point or another. I know most Notre Dame fans don't really care for it because they've been independent this whole time. But, if they were to join, that would be the conference to join. They already have lots of rivalries with lots of the teams in the division itself. Back of the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. Loveland with the tutty. Nice job by Davis Warren to Peyton O'Leary for a 6-yard tutty, and Michigan is back in the game. Tyler in the building. What's good? Magic Man in the building. Dixon Way. Appreciate that. You're autocorrect. You're good. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day on whatever event the live stream is doing over there. 28-17, Oregon. Ended up watching Ohio State and Penn State this morning. Congratulations to the Buckeyes, squeaking out a close one, 20-13. I also watched WWE Crown Jewel 2024 that just got over with. Would recommend watching that, even though it was a little underwhelming compared to maybe most PLEs. And now we're here with Oregon and Michigan in a slugfest, 28-17 Oregon. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Shout out to Tyler, Magic Man, and Buccaneer, as well as David for coming through for the Dixon Way. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you. What's going on, Judah? What's going on, obviously, in that part of the country on the East Coast? 13-6, Florida up on Georgia at halftime. Indiana came back on Michigan State up 30-10, so no worries for an upset alert there either. And then I got Kraken coming up here in an hour and 15 minutes against the Ottawa Senators that I got to put on. And then we also got the Huskies and the Trojans going to battle it out. It's the battle of the mids. 4-4 versus 4-4. Who is the best 4-4 team? I don't know if we know that answer. Maybe there'll be USC is favored by 2.5, but the Huskies are at home. So we will see how that all plays out. But they have identical records, 4-4. They're both 2-3 in the Big Ten. And I'm very curious to see how it plays out. It looks like USC has 67% on the matchup predictor, even though they're on the road. Will Rogers, 13 tutties, 4 picks. Miller Moss, 16 touchdowns, 6 picks. So Marks has got 8 tutties for the Trojans. Coleman's got 5. And then Lemon's got 2. And Boston, your lead receiver's got 9. So it looks like Jonah and Boston and Rogers are going to have to ball out today if they're going to end up defying the odds, since it looks like everyone assumes that USC is going to win. But we'll find out. 9 more likes to 30. Cool kid. I like that, baby. Let's go. $7:09 left in the third quarter. 28-17 Ducks. Let's go. He's co-owner. Hopefully he'll cut back on the partying a little bit. You know, I mean, it seems like anytime I see Connor, you know, he definitely looks not sober. You know, most of the little clips and video that I see of him, he just looks like kind of gacked out and whatnot. So, and of course, when you're a millionaire and you got, plenty of money, you're going to have alcohol and many other party things to be able to choose from and whatnot. But addiction is a real thing, and it's kind of sad to be able to see where Connor was and where he's at now. But I imagine he is living his best life. But, we don't want to read the news one day and find out that he OD'd and died or something like that. So hopefully he has some people that, are his true friend that are going to be looking out for his health, moving forward. 28-17 Oregon. Handoff. Jordan James right up the middle, almost a first down. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 30 before the stream ends. And I believe we're at, 25 on the dono train, 75 to go. Nice tackle there by Michigan on 3rd down and 1. Jordan James with a 2-yard gain to the Oregon 36. First down, Ducks. Move the chains. Let's go. Big first down from Oregon, right up the gut. We're not afraid. There we go. Yeah, I always enjoyed watching Connor in the ring. It's one thing if you can talk shit, but you got to be able to back it up. And obviously we know he can talk shit with the best of them. And when he was in his prime, I mean, it was must-see TV. Gabriel, play action fake, blitz coming. Got away from one, but throws it towards the sideline, incomplete. Second down and 10 on the Oregon 36. Student and all, good for him. We got an injury down for a Michigan Wolverine. I hope he's okay. Injury timeout. Gain another sub. Shout out to all the new subs that we've gotten this week. I think we've gotten about 20 within the last couple days. We're 63 away from 20,700. There we go. And we're almost at 1,000 views in the stream. We're 75 to go. We're at 925. I know we're going to break 1,000 in this stream as well. We need Oregon to bring the electricity. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. Let's go, baby. Coach of the year. Florida up on Georgia, but they won't win. Georgia will find a way. Let's go, baby. And this game really didn't feel like it was going to be a blowout anyways. I mean, it might end up turning into a blowout based on what happens in the fourth quarter, but Michigan is hanging around, and it's not like they're some scrub team. They might not be as good as last year. They lost their head coach. They lost a lot of guys to the transfer portal. Once you lose Harbaugh, you won the Natty. They accomplished everything that they can accomplish. But again, with all that being said, they're 5-3. They're not like some bottom feeder team after winning the Natty. They're still going to be one of the top 8. They're in the Big Ten. It's just that you're not going to be on the same level as Oregon or Ohio State or Penn State, or Indiana at this moment. But after all of those teams, the top tier, Michigan might be the best team in the second tier that's in the Big Ten. I think that's fair to say. They're one of two, after the top tier teams are mentioned, they are at the top of the list after those, top-notch teams in the Big Ten. Man in motion. 3rd down and 4. Audible called at the line. Trips left. 4 wide. Shotgun set. 3rd down and 4. Uh-oh. Tipped and complete. Gabriel threw that into double coverage to Ferguson. 4th down and 4. Michigan playing some good defense here in the second half, trying to feed off the momentum off the crowd. Good for them. Yeah, and then whoever gets the win between you and USC obviously goes up a notch this weekend moving forward, to be able to get yourself to 5-4. Because obviously if Michigan loses that, they'll have the same record. So, you want to be right there with them and then start climbing the ladder. But in reality, the Huskies should be probably 6-2 right now and in the top 25. But, just kind of bad luck and bad execution and questionable coaching, in that Rutgers game and that Washington State game for the Apple Cup early in the year, which we normally see at the end of the year. But, it happens. Flag on the play. Wow. Illegal formation. Automatic first down for Oregon. We'll take that. I love that. How are you going to end up, making an error off Oregon punting? And that's why Oregon is so good with their coaching, putting their team in positions to win, to get other teams confused when they end up seeing these weird formations and these weird play calls that they may have never seen before. And that resulted in a big first down when Oregon was going to punt. That might be the difference in the game if we're being honest, especially if we end up scoring a touchdown here and we go up 35-17, then the game's over. So we'll see where it goes from here. But that is tough luck there for Michigan. Little run up the gut. Nice tackle by Michigan. And that's one thing that I'm glad that we end up having, kind of some masterminds for coaches as well as play callers, even though Will Stein was a little vanilla, right? And I feel like with his play calling, he wasn't very good at the beginning of the year, but he's gotten much, much better, after that Boise State matchup of kind of, opening up the playbook a little bit for Dylan Gabriel, as well as the receivers and running backs and tight ends. Third down and 3. We're looking for more. 28-17 Ducks. Getting closer, almost to 1,000 views on the stream. Let's go, baby. All right, we hit 22 likes. We need 8 more to get to 30. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 23 now. Thank you so much. And we're at 25 on the dono train, 75 to go there as well. Today's been a good day, for sport and wrestling. You got a chance to be able to watch Crown Jewel if you haven't watched it already. That was on at 10 a.m. Pacific. Ohio State, Penn State was fun this morning at 9 a.m. We got this Ducks-Michigan matchup. I got the Kraken coming up in about an hour for the NHL. We got Huskies and Trojans later today too. So, and then we got a good slate of games for Sunday tomorrow also. So I'll be definitely busy with Paisley all day today. Let's go, baby. And let's take a quick peek at the slate for the NFL tomorrow. For all y'all that play fantasy football and just love football in general, we got Dolphins, Bills, Broncos, Ravens, Chargers, Browns, Saints, Panthers, Raiders, Bengals, Commandos, Giants, Cowboys versus the Falcons, Patriots, Titans, Bears, Cardinals, Jags, Eagles, and then where the matchups start to get kind of good are the last 4. Lions, Packers, must-see TV. Rams, Seahawks, must-see TV. Colts, Vikings, I think will be a shootout since you got Joe Flacco in there instead of AR against Sam Darnold on Sunday Night Football. That'll be our NFL stream for the night. Colts, Vikings, and then we're going to do Buccaneers, Chiefs on Monday night. And obviously, if the Bucs didn't lose, Mike Evans or Godwin, they would have a chance to win that game. But since they don't have those players, Bucks will lose. But hopefully they don't get embarrassed and it ends up being a somewhat competitive game on Monday night. So looking forward to tomorrow. Let's go. But I'm looking forward to seeing how this game wraps up. 28-17 for the number 1 Oregon Ducks. Daylight saving time ends tonight, baby. It's going to start getting darker quicker. Getting dark at like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. 3rd down and 3. Go Ducks. Halfback toss. Get that first down. There we go. And a good push by 50 to make sure Noah Whittington got that first down. First down, Oregon. Hell yeah, let's go. Move the chains. Let's go. Screen pass. Trayshawn Holden. Short game. Man on the field, going deep. One-on-one. Dive for that ball. Come on, Evan Stewart. You were able to do the one-handed grab before. Dive for that ball. It's a free play. You might as well dive for it. You never know. You might end up with it. Illegal substitution on the defense there. 2nd down. Good awareness there by Oregon. And Dan Lanning. Let's go. Go Ducks. Second down and 1. And we're about to make a big play here, baby. Run up the gut. Let's go. We're about to score a touchdown and put this game away, baby. Jordan James. Let's go. There we go. Dylan Gabriel with a 3-yard gain. We're inching closer. 2nd and goal on the Michigan 13, baby. Evan Stewart. So Tez Johnson's the 1. Evan Stewart's the 2. Trayshawn Holden typically is the 3. So if Tez Johnson's been out for the game since the first quarter, then Evan becomes the 1, Trayshawn Holden becomes the 2. And then we got Ferg at tight end, 2 capable running backs with Jordan James and Noah Whittington that we can either go to with screen passes or halfback dives or counters. And then you also got Patrick Herbert, Justin Herbert's brother, who's the other tight end. So plenty of weapons for Oregon, even though it feels like sometimes we have a bunch of RB2s or wide receiver 2s, compared to some of the other guys we've had, like Troy Franklin and Bucky Irving. But again, you got to think a lot of those top tier guys moved on to the NFL. So if you compare who we have compared to who everyone else has, not against the guys that were on the teams last year, we kind of match up pretty evenly on offense with everyone in the country, even though I kind of feel that our running backs and wide receivers aren't as good as they have been in the past. Like when we had like LaMichael or DeAnthony Thomas. These guys on the team now are nowhere near the talent level of the guys that we had in the Chip Kelly era or even last year's team with Bucky Irving and Troy Franklin and whatnot. But they're doing the best they can with what we have to work with. 3rd and goal. Gabriel. Back of the end zone, incomplete. I would have liked to seen him run the ball there. Field goal attempt is up. And good. Atticus Sappington will take that. 31-17 Ducks. There we go. Yeah, Evan Stewart. That was the one that came up with that big one-handed grab that got called, back. But again, he's got a lot of athleticism. Nice job, Sappington. I mean, anytime you got a player named Atticus, they better play well, especially if they're getting a chance to make a big play. Atticus. That's like someone's name that they would have in like the 1800s. Atticus, come here. 1800s or early 1900s. Not sure if it's really a 2000s and beyond kind of name, but it's very unique. But we'll take it. But I'm looking forward to Lions, Packers, Rams, Seahawks, Colts, Vikings, and Bucks, Chiefs. Those are going to be the must-see TV games tomorrow on the NFL slate. 31-17 Oregon. Let's go, baby. Loving the jersey combinations this year in 2024. And all of them are so unique and different. You know, some will have puddles, some won't. Some will have the O, some will have the wings. It's just so unique. And obviously it's a play on a lot of the throwback jerseys that we've worn in the past with a little bit of Big Ten Nike influence in 2024. And I think they've done a magical job on the jerseys this year. Some of the best looking jerseys that we've had game in and game out. And obviously they've always been good, but it's always nice to be able to see them kind of go above and beyond than maybe what some of the fans think that they're going to create with. So yeah, we're up by 14 with a quarter to go. I mean, there's no chance of us losing this game, you know, and we shouldn't, being the number one team in the nation. So now if we were to lose to Ohio State, yeah, you know, but nobody else on the regular season schedule, you know, I mean, if we had Penn State or Indiana on the schedule, then yeah, there's always a risk of, you know, losing those, but we don't have them on the schedule. So unless we play in the college football playoff, so. But plus, we needed Ohio State to beat Penn State, so there's no controversy at the end. You know, if Penn State obviously is undefeated, Indiana's undefeated, Oregon's undefeated, and there's just some kind of craziness where Oregon gets left out of the Big Ten championship if those other teams, you know. So eventually things are going to end up working out the way that they should. So, and it should be hopefully Oregon versus Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Even if we have a chance to lose that game, I want to play the best of the best. I want Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, even if we could lose. You know, and if we lose, then we deserve to lose, right? I want to earn it. And then I want Georgia in the Natty if Georgia makes it that far. You know, I just want to play whoever the best team is, whether it's Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Texas, or some rando team that makes it. And over teams like Miami, so be it. But, you know, I would really love to be able to beat a Big Ten team, you know, and then get to be able to beat like an SEC team like Alabama, Georgia to win it all, if that were to happen. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Still undefeated, though, so you got to be liking that. Man in motion, first down and 10. Throws into the turf, incomplete. Second down and 10 on the Michigan 25. Oregon up by 14. Run up the gut, short game, and that's the end of the third quarter, 31-17, Ducks. All right, got one more quarter left. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. Let's go. All right, got one more quarter left. Seven more to get to 30. Let's get there, baby. 31-17, start of the fourth quarter. Let's go, Dan. We need it. And for us to be able to be playing this well with our number one receiver out since the first quarter is pretty impressive. And hopefully Tez Johnson isn't out for the year. So I haven't heard an update from the broadcast at all on how significant the injury is. So I guess we'll have to wait and find out if they do an MRI and see if there's anything that's fractured or broken. Hopefully not. He said, time to knuckle up and throw down. Faulkner versus Oscar. Who you think is gonna win? Who you got, Odin? You got Faulkner or you got Oscar? Do you think that the knockouts are more brutal in the bare knuckle rather than with the very thin gloves of the UFC? You think the knockouts are a little bit more extreme with the bare knuckle? Faulkner. All right, we hit over 1,000 on the stream. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 1,033. Let's see if we can get to maybe 1,500 or 1,600 before maybe the stream ends, depending on what happens here in the fourth. We should be able to get at least a couple hundred more. 3rd down and 8. Towards the sideline. Looked like he might have caught that. Or was he out of bounds? Let's look. Oh, that's incomplete. The ball went flying out. Got his foot down, but then after the impact of the ground, the ball went flying. That's incomplete, baby. Faulkner won already. What was it, a KO in the first 10 seconds? You got 1 foot down, but you don't survive the ground. And there goes the ball. And that is clearly incomplete by Loveland. Good effort, though, to put the foot down, but you got to come down with the contact. And You get a burly individual, on top. That ball went flying. 4th down and 8. Fans are booing, but they clearly don't know the rules. Now they're going to challenge it. Well, you're going to lose the timeout then. Let's see if the referees actually get the call correct. I mean, he does catch it. He does get 1 foot down, but then as he's going down to the ground, the ball goes flying out of bounds. So he doesn't have control of this football here. It's incomplete. Should be pretty clear, but I mean, again, we've always seen calls being not right. It did not maintain control. Incomplete. Good call. Just because you're down by 14 and you're at home and you're upset that you're losing by 14 doesn't mean that you just get like some bullshit call to go your way. Got to know the rules. Oregon staff knows the rules. Apparently Michigan's does not. 3-0, 5-0 in bare knuckle as a whole. Nice. 4th down and 8. Michigan with the punt. It's like they can't run the chance of doing a fake and having it not convert. Then the game really is over. So this is the only way that they give themselves a shot to get close. But one more touchdown by Oregon puts this one out of reach. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. Let's go, baby. Jordan James with a short gain. Second down and 7, 31-17 Ducks. Oh, wow. Look at the blood. My God, that's bloody there, Odin. Get rid of it, Dylan. There we go. Hello. First down, Oregon. Move the chains. First down and 10, Oregon. Move the chains. Again, I wasn't really that big on Dylan Gabriel, compared to like what we got from Bo Nix. But again, if you don't got an All-American, center on Jackson Powers Johnson up front, which we don't have anymore, it really did make things so much easier for Bo Nix in that offense. So, but again, Gabriel has gotten much better since he played in the first couple weeks. Clearly. Because if he didn't get better week in and week out, we wouldn't be the number one team in the nation right now, 100%. Yeah, 100% more bloodier, I can tell with the photo that you sent me. I mean, the guy's face and chest is like covered up like Ric Flair, looking all like a tomato. False start by Oregon. They had too many guys running around with with their chicken with their head cut off. What the fuck are they doing? Come on, Oregon, focus. Timmy Chang, Marcus Mariota, Tua, and Dylan Gabriel. You're getting a lot of quality players out of Hawaii and American Samoa in the last 10 to 15 years. My favorite, though, Haloti Ngata. As far as the defense is concerned. 2nd down and 13. Gabriel. Pass in the middle of the field, incomplete. 3rd down and 13. Come on, Dan. Line it up, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Dylan. We got no Tez. Injured in the 1st quarter. Now we got another injury. Fucking A, man. Oh. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like an offensive lineman, but we'll find out here in a second. Let's go, baby. 4th quarter, 12:33 to go, 31-17 Ducks. One more touchdown puts this game out of reach. Florida 13, Georgia 6. A little surprising. We're in the 3rd quarter. You would assume Georgia will find their rhythm at some point. Iowa State losing to Texas Tech. Indiana up big on Michigan State now when they were down 10-0. Now they're up 40-10. Kansas State up 16-10 on Houston. Final scores, Ohio State, Penn State 20-13. Nice win by the Buckeyes. Miami 53, Duke 31. Beat the shit out of the Blue Devils. Ole Miss 63, Arkansas 31. Beating shit out of Arkansas. Army 20, Air Force 3. Minnesota 25-17, an upset win over Illinois. Ranked 24th. They're no longer going to be 24th. And then coming up, we got A&M in South Carolina, Louisville and Clemson, Kentucky and Tennessee, and then Pitt, Emma, SMU. And then the one I'm going to be looking forward to watching, USC and the Washington Huskies in about an hour. Georgia's tied it. Nice. They might end up sucking for 2 or 3 quarters, but eventually you would assume they'll get back to their winning ways. I'm not really sold on Carson Beck. I think that, he's not really that good of a quarterback, but I could say the same thing, obviously, for Ohio State as well. Like, I'm not really that impressed with a lot of the college football quarterbacks this year. I mean, I like Cam Ward, from the U. Gabriel's been pretty good this year for the Ducks, but, it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of top-tier talent at quarterback this year. Last year, it felt like there was more. Dylan Gabriel pass incomplete, now 4th down and 13. And Michigan's defense has played much better in the second half compared to the first half. I'll give them that. Stewart and company, good defense there by the Wolverines D-line, getting pressure. All right, Odin, have a good rest of your day. Look forward to hanging out with you either on Sunday Night Football or Monday night with the Bucks and Chiefs. Have a good rest of your weekend if I don't hear or talk to you. Until then. Ross James with the punt. And it rolls into the end zone for a touchback. gained another sub. I like that, baby. Gained about 20 in the last couple days. 62 away now from 20,700. Help your boy out. Let's go, baby. See where we're at now. Over 1,100. 1,125. Let's keep it going. Take it easy, Odin, my boy. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. Go Ducks. We're at 25:75 to go. They got Orgy at quarterback now. Flag on the play. Might be a false start. What do we have here? False start. Offense. Number 17, Marlon Klein. Let's look again. Does he shift and move a little bit? Oh, he jumps for sure. Oregon moves its guys over in a line shift, and he had a little flinch. That is the correct call. First down and 15. Appreciate you, Captain. Man in motion. Orgy right up the middle. 2-yard gain. Kind of almost a wasted play call for Alex Orgy there, but running 2 quarterbacks, Captain, you would know it just typically doesn't work. It's nice to be able to have another guy be like a change of pace quarterback, like we have with like RB2s with a change of pace running back. But if you end up getting too many plays for that backup, it causes problems in the offense. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Almost a sack lunch, but he gets out of it. I don't know how the hell he did that. Davis Warren should have got sack lunched and used that good upper body strength to get out of there. Kind of gets trapped in between another Michigan Wolverine, so he couldn't really grab him fully, and gets kind of blindsided by a butt and a leg from another Michigan Wolverine offensive lineman. Otherwise, that would have been a sack lunch. 3rd down and 12. Shotgun set. Warren going deep. Got a man. First down, Wolverines. Move the chains. Tyler Morris with a 19-yard gain to the Michigan 37. First down, Michigan. Great throw right there. Just a little late by Reed to try to deflect that. Good touch from Davis Warren on that throw. Nice job, Michigan. I'm not a hater. 11 for 18, 158 yards, and 2 tutties by Davis Warren. Shotgun set. Play action fake. Bootleg. Get him, Oregon. Loveland with the catch. And I like the discipline by Oregon not doing anything stupid on the sideline with some like dirty late hit. You know, we know better. $57 more views to get us 1,200. Hand off up the middle. Uh-oh. He's getting loose. Get him, Jabbar. First down. Michigan. Edwards with a great run up the gut. Very similar to Jordan James throughout the game as well. Feels like they are exploiting the center and guards in this matchup today. Not only is Michigan doing it, but Oregon is doing it as well. Nice run by Donovan Edwards. Michigan in Duck territory now. Less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Ducks up by 14, 31-17 Oregon. Man in motion, shotgun set for Davis Warren. Screen pass, deflected, grab it. Almost looked like it was going to be a lateral on that fumble. Alex Orgy, 29-yard run, first down, Michigan. And that's the reason why they bring Orgy in for plays like this. Sometimes it's going to be like a 1-yard game, and other times you're going to get good blocks up front, and Orgy's going to end up making a big play of 15 or 20 yards. Get him out of bounds, you idiots. Jesus. Horrible tackling by Oregon there. That should have been, maybe a 10-yard gain. Not a 29-yard gain. My God. Get him out of bounds, you idiots. Poor effort by Oregon tackling here, and I haven't seen them tackle like this. And Jabbar Muhammad, tackle. You bum. We brought you over from the Huskies to be a good fucking player. What is that? Terrible. Why are you hugging him? Tackle him. Idiot. Golly. And that might have been the first time all year I've called Muhammad an idiot. Golly. Tackle. Don't try to hug him. He ended up gaining another 15 yards after you hugged him. Now they're going to review it to see where the correct placement was. I was going to say, it looked like he went out of bounds much earlier. Yeah, we do. Daylight saving time is for everyone across the globe. So it'll start getting dark for us around 4 or 5 p.m. Pacific now. Right there. That's when he went out of bounds. And then gained another 10 or 15. Like, tackle. Come on, corners. Do your job. Don't fucking bear hug. You're not going to the fucking Sadie Hawkins dance. This isn't fucking homecoming. Tackle his ass. Warren, back of the end zone, incomplete. Yeah, I don't like it when it gets dark that early. And obviously during summertime, here in the West Coast, it'll get dark around, 8, 9 p.m. But once we go into the fall, winter, yeah, it'll be around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It'll start getting dark for us here. (31-17) Oregon. Mission gaining a little bit of momentum here. Orgy with a keeper. Strip it. Good tackle there. Orgy got bent backwards a little bit there. Now they're bringing in Davis Warren back in. And Michigan's quarterbacks all have the same kind of frame. Like, everyone reminds you of like a J.J. McCarthy type, or like a Navarre. Like if you go back and look at a lot of the Michigan quarterbacks, they all are kind of tall and lanky. They all kind of have the same type of athletic frame and build. Not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just, their quarterbacks usually look the same type of player every year. Short gain. I don't know if I would have called that play on 3rd and 7. 4th down and 5. I mean, they've had pretty good success running the ball with Orji as the backup quarterback. There we go. They go for it, and you end up paying the price. Pass incomplete. They tried to get a little tricky here and cute here. Little trick play with the pass. They tried to go from some Philly play, but guess what? Not today. And the Michigan intended receiver runs into someone, that was one of the marker individuals or one of the security, and ended up hitting a brick wall and went straight down. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, we don't bite. Stay. He stays with his man, and then takes a little bit off of it. But luckily the throw was out of bounds, as you've seen one of the Michigan players run in to one of the security staff and almost got a concussion, it looked like. Some of those guys on the sideline are pretty big, You got those guys that are, sometimes like grandpas, part of the chain gang. But if you get one of those guys in the blue shirts that do security, sometimes those guys are pretty burly. There we go, Oregon. (31-17) Oregon. Let's go. Go Ducks. Need 8 more likes to be able to get to 30. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get there. Now we're at 23. 7 to go. Let's go, baby. And we're at 25 on the dono train. 75 to go there. But I restarted True Blood and The Walking Dead. I've really been meaning to go back and watching The Walking Dead from the very beginning in the last couple years, and I finally got the courage to invest my time and energy in that show. I know, which is 11 years, and then they have a couple spin-offs with like Daryl Dixon and a few others with like Michonne. But I figured I ended up watching the original Walking Dead up until the point where Rick went missing, and then after some of the individuals died, like Glenn, it definitely wasn't really the same, with the whole Negan thing and everything. I mean, it was pretty good for the first so-and-so seasons, and then it kind of hit a wall, and then I stopped watching. So I don't know what season I stopped watching at, but I'm going to go back and kind of watch it from the very beginning to kind of give myself something to look forward to other than just the regular shows that we have. Now, we got to still get another touchdown here. Field goal will make it 2 possessions, but we get one more touchdown here, then this one is over. Yeah, and then after I end up finishing these shows, then I'm probably going to do, Breaking Bad from the very beginning again, and then Better Call Saul from the very beginning. I've been meaning to do those 2 as well. So, Noah Whittington with a 5-yard gain. 2nd down and 4. Looks like 6-yard gain on the Oregon 16. Go Ducks. Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Phenomenal. Great show. I've never even finished Better Call Saul, so that's another reason why I need to get back into that, so I can start it and then finish it. Let's go, baby. Finish strong. 2nd down and 4, and good tackle by Michigan. But there's just like certain shows that I feel a connection to, like True Blood. Like I can watch True Blood from beginning to end, over and over and over, and I just love the cast. It like sucks me into that show where I feel like I could be on the show. And I don't know how many shows are like that for y'all, but you know, there's certain shows that I have to watch every single week. You know, when they are out, like Law and Order SVU. And then obviously there's shows that have run their course and they're no longer making active episodes that I still love. Gabriel, there we go. Oh, that looked like maybe targeting or pretty close. Trayshawn Holden, 1st down, Ducks. Move the chain. Breaking Bad movie. I never knew they had one. No, I have not. They have a movie? That's new to me. And I'm usually on top of everything pop culture. And the number one show that I'm looking forward to watching, once I get an extra 10 or 13 bucks, I'll upgrade my Hulu account to Paramount Plus and Showtime HBO so I can watch The Penguin. And Colin Farrell has transformed his body. And obviously we've always known Colin Farrell has been a great actor, but I'm really into Batman stuff. And, like when they did Gotham and all that back in the day. But The Penguin is supposed to be pretty violent, and I definitely want to see it. But I'm going to wait for it to finish. I think it's got 2 episodes left, one this weekend, one next weekend, and then I'll order it, and then I'll just binge The Penguin in like a day or 2 days, and then I'll get caught up. But it looks like the best show to be watching on HBO and Showtime as of right now. 2nd down and 5. Handoff. James, spin move, and gang tackled by 3 Wolverines. 3rd down and 3 with less than 5 minutes to go. But I like watching like old school cartoons from like the 80s. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Ninja Turtles, in the 80s and early 90s, Batman, the animated series, and X-Men. Like those are my 5 go-tos. But right now on Freevee, if you end up having a Prime account and then you cancel it, Freevee is available on there, and they have a Ninja Turtle channel that just plays old school Ninja Turtle episodes all day long. So I usually find myself watching that. It's called El Camino. Oh, I haven't seen it. I probably will watch Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul first before I got into that. Gabriel going deep, got a man. There we go. 1st down, Oregon, and this game is over. Hell yeah. Broke his route and broke the other opponent's ankles, baby. 1st down, Oregon. We're about to punch this in, baby. Let's go. It's on Netflix, came out in 2019. Wow, why is this the first time I'm hearing about it? Was it a bad movie? What did Rotten Tomatoes and some of those, ranking things give it? Did it get a bad rating? Go Ducks. 1st down and 10. Bleeding that clock, baby. Jordan James. Short game. It's like run the ball, bleed the clock. Run the ball, bleed the clock. 3rd down, make the big throw. 1st down, Oregon. Run the ball, bleed the clock. Run the ball, bleed the clock. And then repeat. So, you getting excited for your Huskies and Trojans? Do you think you're going to win the game at home, Captain? Or are you nervous? And how are you feeling about Rams and Seahawks? I know you know the Rams can win that game. And I know a lot of people have penciled in the Rams to win that game. But hopefully Seattle offense and defense comes to play. Because that's going to be a very challenging game with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back. And I think you know that. 2nd down and 11. Jordan James with the handoff. Bounce it to the outside. Get that 1st down. Yes. Hell yeah. 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. And it probably will be good. It sounds like it has all the same characters in it. So. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Shout out to the 20 new subs that we've acquired within the last couple days. Appreciate you guys. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 30 before the stream ends. And let's see where we're at as far as views on the stream. Last time I checked, we were over 1,100. Where are we at now? Close to 1,200 now. Where are we at? 19 more views to get to 1,200. We'll definitely get that before the stream ends. 2-minute warning. 31-17 Oregon. And we don't even need to score a touchdown or get a field goal. Hopefully we can just bleed the clock out and just win the game right here. Have Michigan use all their timeouts, and then we just win. We don't need to rub it in and get another field goal or touchdown. But let's see where they're at here with timeouts as we come back to the game. Yeah, no TK is huge. Which game do you think you have a better chance of winning today? Huskies? Probably that game, right? Because the Seahawks game feels like, I don't want to say it's an automatic loss, but it's going to be really challenging against that Rams team that usually plays pretty well against you, regardless on who they have available. You know, we know Sean McVay is a very good coach. Now, if this was earlier in the year with no Cooper Kupp and no Puka Nacua, then I'll be like, yeah, you know, that should be a winnable game for you guys. But now, no DK, Koopa, and Puka, you know, in the lineup on the other end, it's going to be challenging. Not impossible, you know, but hopefully you guys end up playing well for the Huskies and the Hawks. But hopefully you guys don't go 0 for 2 for you and Reflect this weekend. Yeah. Well, good luck, man. I'll be rooting for you. I don't have a problem rooting for, you know, the teams that are in the Pac-12, were part of the Pac-12. You know, there's a pride thing, you know. And again, I'm always going to make sure that we give the most, you know, pub and recognition, you know, because again, I don't think a lot of people will. Like a typical Duck fan isn't going to give a shit about the USC or Washington or Oregon State or the Cougs. You know, but I am a fan of college football and a fan of greatness, even if it isn't on our team. And as of late, we've been having some pretty good players come out of the Pac-12 into the draft. So, you know, even if it's not from Oregon, you know, and I really like to root for your guys, you know, to play well week in and week out, just as long as it's not against us. When you guys play us, then I'm going to be Oregon. But when it's not against us, you know, I'll be definitely rooting for those other teams to end up having some success and some wins. Second and goal, as we got the clock running here. Timeout, Oregon. Michigan's got 1 timeout remaining. Oregon's got 2. And this is kind of how I thought the game was going to be. You know, they had the point spread around 14 and a half, something like that. And it's exactly what it ended up being. You know, if the point spread was 14 and a half, then a lot of people lost money because if Oregon ends up winning by 14, then that 0.5, that's how they get you, right? Is because you have to win by more than 14, you know? And obviously if it ends up being 14 exactly, then a lot of the people that bet money lost. So, you know, Vegas, you know, knows exactly what they're doing with that 0.5 in sports. But we'll see if we end up kicking a field goal or, you know, gaining more points, or if we get in the end zone, or if we just try to, We just try to kneel it here and end the game, which I assume is what we're going to do. Or we're just going to end up running the ball up the gut here. Second and goal. Run right up the gut. Jordan James. And down to the 2. And it looks like we're going to get a touchdown. There it is, baby. Touchdown, Oregon. We would rather not score a touchdown in that situation, but again, if you're just going to let us have it, we're going to take it. 2-yard tutty from Jordan James, and this one's over, baby. 37-17. Now the people that bet that Oregon was going to win by 14.5 or more, now you get your money. And you were definitely nervous right there if Oregon was going to kick the field goal, get the touchdown, or if it was going to be a kneel down. But if you bet on this game, you ended up winning. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. Go Ducks. Extra point is up and good. 38-17. Welcome to that ass whooping. We love it. And again, we're not going to be this good every year. We understand that, but we have to take advantage when we do have a number 1 ranking, just like the Huskies did last year. You got to take advantage as much as possible and do your very best to the very, very end. And honestly, if the Huskies played anybody but Michigan last year, I think they would have won the Natty. It's just that, a team that has great running and great, run defense. That was like the one team that, even if Oregon made the Natty last year, we would have lost as well. They were just too much, with obviously their run game and their defense. But this year, all Ducks, baby. And then tomorrow's stream will be Sunday Night Football for the Colts and the Vikings. Colts got Joe Flacco in for the rest of the year, so it should actually be a pretty fun game to watch. Could end up being a shootout, even though we know Minnesota Viking defense has been pretty good. Colts not so much, but again, it should hopefully end up being an entertaining matchup. And good luck to everyone playing in fantasy football, obviously, as well, as we'll be getting into those games tomorrow morning also. Ducks with the kickoff. Michigan returns from the 1. And a good tackle there by Oregon on special teams. First down and 10. Warren, screen pass. Time to pad the stats here a little bit. And you got to think we ended up winning this game 38-17 with our number 1 receiver out since the first quarter. I don't know how many teams that, could end up having that happen. Imagine if Alabama lost their number 1 receiver, Ohio State lost their number 1 receiver, Texas lost their number 1 receiver, Georgia lost their number 1. How things could possibly go. Hopefully Tez will be okay. Third down and 9 on the Michigan 21. We're down to 1 or 2 more plays and this one's over. Then I got to go take Paisley for a walk, eat a little bit of lunch, and get ready to watch the Huskies and the Trojans, as well as the Kraken coming up here as well. Hand up the gut. on 3rd down and 9, and that is it. I agree. Thank you so much for filling in as lead mod on the stream. Appreciate the loyalty. It means a lot. Final score, Oregon 38, Michigan 17. Enjoy your Huskies and your Trojans. I'll be watching. Thank you for the support. Thank you to all the people that liked, subbed, donated, commented, shared. It meant a lot. We ended up getting some good views here. We didn't hit the goal on the dono goal, but again, hopefully we'll be able to make up for it tomorrow. Dan Lanning, we love you. We appreciate you. Coach of the year. Indiana 9-0, Oregon 9-0. Let's go, baby. And again, we'll be back tomorrow, Sunday Night Football, for the Colts going against the Minnesota Vikings. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Go Ducks.